start competing, you are not allowed to remove your from the track. Again, you are not allowed to remove your car from the track. Battery swaps must be done on the track. If you break and you have to go to the table, you will need to be re-teched before re-entering into the competition. One more time, battery swaps must be done on the track. You are not allowed to remove your car from the track once the competition starts. That is for the sportsman class and the expert class as well.
All right.
All right, Joe, so who's our first battle in the sportsman class?
Quick question here. Mark's going to ask you right now. All right, thank you guys for your patience. We know you guys, we gave away a lot of stuff, so it took a long time. So we tried to do the best we can, but we're pulling it back on. So round one is Jackson versus Mike, as you guys see on the board. Mike Munoz's car is not able to compete, so Jackson will do a one-run pass by himself to final. All right. Alright, so typical standard format here. You're going to go to the starter gate, and the judges will send you guys in on green. So have you guys all please be quiet and respect the drivers. So some of these people are traveling very far for today, so please respect the drivers. Do not walk behind or in front of them. Don't rev your car. Jackson's taking advantage of his nice body run here because Mike Williams was not able to finish his car up. Jackson's going to take this time to enjoy a nice little practice lap from the judges here. All right, very nice. Wells Jackson is riding to SX2 here. Number 113 car. Once again, sportsmen, all cars stay on the track, cannot be removed. Same goes for you, expert class. All right, moving on. Jackson, you're going to be up against Dennis. Dennis, you're in the lead position. Dennis in that lead position. Jackson trying to apply that pressure. As we go through the center of the track here, Dennis trying to pull away. Here comes Jackson trying to apply that pressure at the last clip. Both finishing strong. Very nice, guys. Alright, the judges are sending you guys in on green. Jackson doing a great job on that qualifying line, trying to pull away from Dennis. Here comes Dennis trying to apply that pressure as they go around the hairpin. There they go, trying to finish strong before the judges at the last flip. Ooh, Jackson, you did it easy. Very nice here. Once again, that was between Jackson and Dennis, both SoCal residents here.
Alrighty, so Jackson advances. Dennis crashed on the sweep on his lead. He hit first, so.
Alright.
Does apply.
You guys heard it? Jackson takes the win on that one. Very nice, very nice. Yes. Really, yes. Alright, moving on here. Up next, we have Gerald versus Adriano. The judges will send you guys in on green. Alright, very nice here. Pull away a little bit, very nice. Once again, that was between Gerald and Adriano. They're going to switch positions now. Adriano, you'll take the lead. And see where they go. Very nice here. They're trying to pull away. Gerald's trying to catch up. Here they go for the last play before the judges. Ooh, very nice. Getting close to the wall. Wow. Very nice. This is SoCal versus Arizona.
Alright, so Adriano advances. Gerald had a small crash on his lead.
Alright, you guys heard it. Gerald had a small crash on his lead, so it's going to cost him. So Adriano will take the win on that one. So up next, let's see what we have here. Alright, looks like we have Eddie versus Alex Moss. Is that right? Alright, that's what I thought. So it's Alex Moss on the chase, Eddie Reyes on the lead. Looks like there might have been some contact there. Pretty sure it's contact. Let's see what the judges, how they're going to deem that one. Eddie's in the Datsun 620. Alex in his F13. Both drivers going through the middle. Oh, right for the judges. See how they're going to judge that one. see him pull away from Eddie. Here comes Eddie trying to apply that pressure. Ooh, staying on the outside there. Here comes Eddie. Holds it in as we approach the final clip before the judges. Ooh, both drivers doing that nice and smooth. That's between Eddie from SoCal and Alex from Arizona.
Alright, so Alex advances. Eddie has it with oversteer issue, which causes contact.
Alright, you guys heard it. Alex takes it. Eddie has some contact. That was the doing right there. Up next, looks like we have Nick Worrell versus David Wessel. Nick, you're in the lead. Sorry about that. If I read your name first, that means you're in the lead position. Nick Worrell versus David Wessel. This is both from Arizona, both from Team Bumble Mill in Arizona. Number 32 car by Nick, number 28 car with David here. Here we go. Very nice here. Very little distance between the two drivers. All the way to the finish. Very nice. Teammate versus teammate here. Alright, now David, you're going to take the lead in this one. Nick will take chase. Go. David's the lead. Ooh, nice initiation. Nice and speed as he should. Very nice. Oh, both drivers going into the second zone. Very nice here. Very little distance between them. I got the Altez out front. Looks like S14 off chase. Oh, he's pulling away a little bit. There you go. We might have seen something at the last step. I'm not sure what happened. David may have done something. Let's see what the judges say. Teammate versus teammate here. Team Bowmanville representing from Arizona traveling. Thank you guys for visiting us.
Alright, so on this one, we're going to go with Alteza. It was able to, it didn't have as many crashes, so Alteza advances.
David, right? Yeah, David with the Altez. I want to make sure I didn't mess it up. So David takes the win. He was in that Tam Brown Alteza taking the win. Let me update the score here real quick. And then up next we have Jackson in the lead against Adriano. Jackson in the lead against Adriano. The judges will send you guys in on green. And they're off. Jackson in the teal Mustang initiates cruising into the corner. Adriano with the boss at 14 trying to close in. Very nice. Oh, looks like they're about a little bit on the inside. Jackson a little bit on the outside. I'm not sure how they're going to call that one as they go towards the middle. Both guys smoothing out. Here they go last zone. Very nice. Oh, no. We saw maybe some contact and some spin. I'm not sure. It's a wild series of events here. Wild series, guys. Sorry. Here they go. Adriano, you're out front. Jackson, you're on chase. Here they go. Adriano pulling away the box at 14. Here comes Jackson and his teal Mustang as he's going to try to close that gap. Can he close the gap? It looks like he's a little short at the end there. All right. Very nice, very nice, very nice. That was Jackson and Adriano. SoCal versus Arizona. Good job with both drivers here. Jackson representing Rockview from Top USA, and Adriano representing Team Boltville from Arizona in his Grip Zero, and Jackson's rocking his SX2. Judges are still deliberating here because there was a wild series of events. Not sure if it went, which way, because there was a spin and a crash, multiple things happening. All right. Yes, sir. But it did appear there was a series of events. There was some crashing. Oh, go ahead.
Alright, so Jackson advances. Adriano crashed on the last clip on his chase, which caused Jackson to
Alright, congratulations, Jackson. Take that win right there. Alright, Jackson, you take that one. Adriano does a good attempt here. Alright, now we're in the semifinals finishing it up. We have Alex Moss versus David Wessel. And the judges will send you guys in on green. All right, Alex out front is S13. David chasing in his Alteza. Oh no. I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like there was a little bit of slowdown. I'm not sure who's going to be at all as they finish up here. David's applying that pressure as he should, as they both go to that zone. Put on a good show for the judges up there. Very nice. Once again, that was David and Alex. Oh, team and team. Oh, no. Both players are not the same. My apologies. All right. David, you're taking the lead now. Alex, chase. They're off. David out front and then Alteza. Getting close to that wall as he goes to the second zone. Very nice here. Here comes Alex trying to apply that pressure. Wow, both drivers do pretty good. Look at David trying to pull away. Can Alex close that gap at the last zone? Yes, he can. Both drivers go. That was so close, I'm not sure. Because the rules was stated 50% of the cars. The entire car? Okay, well, I don't know. Let's see what the judges say. I'm not the judge, I'm just commentating. Trying to keep it fun. But right now, let's give a shout out to the sponsors here. Thank you from Tabo, Overdose, TS Racing, Acumax, Scale Reflex, Top by Yokobo, Tamiya, Vertex RC, Los Arnold, and Martima for Racing, Martin RC, Protec, and Dennyworks. Thank you guys.
Alrighty, so David advances. Alex had a little bit of a mishap on his lead. David's going to go to proceed into the next round.
Alright, you heard it. David is going to take the win on that one. And Alex had a little bit of mishap. He's going to be at fault for that. So let me go ahead and give David the point. We are down to the finals here. Well, we're going to do the bronze match first. Hold on a second. Bronze match. This is for third and fourth place of the Sportsman class. Adriano. I'll put on the screen. Adriano versus Alex Moss. Yeah. Come on, guys. Come on, get a little better. Adriano versus Alex Moss. This is going to be for third and fourth place.
Adriano, report to the track, please. Sweet.
He's ready.
Adriano's in the building.
He's ready. Is this Alex? That looks like Alex. Okay, here we go. Oh, looks like Arizona versus Arizona for third and fourth place. Sportsman class. Here we go. Adriano takes off, and his boss has 14 once again as he enters sweeper. Looks like he takes a little bit of the inside, but let's see what happens here. Could be anybody's game. Looks like Alex trying to apply that pressure. Adriano trying to stay on that qualifying line as he should. Here comes Alex trying to apply that pressure over to them. S14 versus S13, finishing strong side by side. Very nice there. That was Adriano versus Alex. There were switch positions as Alex, you're taking the lead in your your S13. What?
Thank you.
Alright, stop the beat so we can team. Please. Pay attention, guys. Let's go. Alright, got the boss S14 out on the chase. S13 up on initiates. Looks like he's in that zone as he should. Here comes boss S14 putting that pressure. Whoa. Both drivers are warmed up. Putting out quite a show here as they go to the second zone. Here they go around the hairpin. Down the middle. Here comes the no zone. Let's see how they do here. Ooh, a little bit on the outside, but the boss S14 on the inside as they finish strong for the judges. Very nice here. Overall, it's going to play out. That's interesting here.
Great battle for third and fourth. Adriano is going to take third place. Alex had a little mishap.
Wow. Just like that. Good job, Alex, but Adriano does take it. We give Adriano the point, so he will be the third place finisher. Alex will take fourth place. And now, for all the marbles and sportsmen, Jackson versus David. This is for first and second place here. Jackson, you're in the lead against David, who's on the chase. Judges will send you guys in when they're ready. Right, Jackson out front of the Mustang. Here we go, goes again in the super. Ooh, wall riding in that steel Mustang. He's going to break down that qualifying line. Get into that second zone. Wow. Very nice here. Here comes David trying to apply that pressure. Oh, looks like maybe have a little difficulty there as Jackson enjoys a little bit of cushion. Oh, he does stay on the qualifying line. Very nice. Wow. Jackson is going to now take the chase. David, you're in the lead position. Our first, second place sportsman here at the Super Dirt Championships, USA Finals. And they're off. David in this iconic outfit doing the awesome job at the qualifying line. Here comes Jackson trying to apply that pressure. Both of them move to that second zone. Ooh, David getting way out there. Oh, that's going to be interesting. There was some contact, but I'm not sure who's going to be at fault. As they go to the second zone, looks like their drivers are reset. Going to the last zone for the judges. Put on a good show. Oh. A little contact. That's interesting.
We're gonna check the replay to see some contact into the second clip.
Alright, we're going to replay. For those of you who haven't seen this, this is a Super G replay system. We're going to watch what the judges are watching as they double check the footage and try to figure out what's going on and trying to see who's at fault. This is what we figure as the fairest way to judge. So you guys are all watching this. They're going to tell you right here, this person's at fault. And it's going to be clear as day as we can see it in high def, who's at fault. It's really difficult as a judge to see all those different mistakes and corrections and make a judgment call. But with the replay, they can go back, slow it down, zoom in frame by frame, and see who's at fault. So we're watching what the judges are watching. I don't know what they're saying, but we can watch what they're watching. We're trying to see who's at fault here. Oh, see, it's not as easy to call it as you guys might think. It's sometimes you really gotta look at it because you don't want to cheat someone of a win, but just think one more time or just think whatever. Oh. Wow. Well, we're watching what the judges are watching. Let's see. Oh, they already made a decision?
Alright, so awesome first and second place battle. Jackson takes first place.
Jackson takes first place. Is it just a wall contact period? Wow. Jackson takes first place. David is your second place finisher. So judges are saying David did have contact with that wall first before the whole madness. So he's going to be at fault for that. Jackson takes it just like that. This is your first place finisher here. They give Jackson the point. Alright. And then are you guys going to protect the card? Group photo. For everybody, right? Everybody might do group photo. I forgot, I'm sorry. I'm going to do group photo real quick. We have to show all the sponsors that came out. So let's do a group photo. And then we're going to go straight into the expert class. Congratulations, Jackson, first place finisher. David, second place finisher. Adriano, third place finisher. Where we going for group photo? Right on the track. Against the backdrop with all the sponsor banners. That's a great idea. Alright. Jackson is your first place finisher. David is your second place. And Adriano is your third. We're doing the group photo right now. And then if you guys want to take photos of the cars, let's get it all on the track. And let's remind everybody, Super G will be putting up, we just decided this yesterday, we're going to be putting up $500 cash prize to the winner tonight. $500 cash to the winner of the expert class tonight. We just threw it in. Want to make this event doper than dope, so figured we're going to go ahead and put in our $500 cash prize. Group for everybody, expert included. Expert, beginner, everybody. Everybody, please, let's get on the track for photos. I'm sorry I didn't announce everybody. I can see why that's confusing. Everybody, please go on the track. We got to do the group photo. Show all the sponsors how much RC Group has grown. So next year we're going to get more raffle prizes, more chassis, more remotes. And we thank you guys for coming out and supporting us in this awesome event today. This is our sponsors list here, guys. Everyone's doing group photo. As they're doing that, we're going to give the sponsors a shout out. Thank you, Futaba USA, for making awesome radios since I was a kid. Thank you, Overdose, for putting out high-quality products from Japan. 100% made in Japan, guys. They donated one of the grand prizes, the BOUT 2. DS Racing for making these awesome tires, which are also our spec tires. Actually, they have stepped up with the full Zarvis 2 fledged motor system. Skill replays for a bunch of gorilla mounts, the Futaba and the Samuel mounts, top line for all the rims, yoke bolts for the 2 chassis, and then to the end for all the bodies, Vertex RC for the YD2, and all the hardware bumpers, RC Orlos for the bodies, NST, much more, Mike Trick RC, Protect, and Demiworks. Let's see the photo. Come on, guys. Let's see the photo real quick, and then you guys can take some photos, and we'll be done with this.
Just do straight lines across in front so we can fit all the cars in less rows. If we curve too much, thanks, Brett.
We're just going to wait for Justin to battle the side. We're going to do a bonus round, JTP versus Sim. I just want to see it. I'm just saying, Justin hasn't lost yet. Alright, let's get the group photo, guys. Let's do the group photo.
Everybody look at the cameras in the front. Sun camera. All right, awesome guys, thank you so much.
All right, back to the business. All right, we're gonna go to the expert class now.
All right guys, so we were saying earlier, I'm not sure if everyone heard, we're starting the expert class. Once your car is on the track, it cannot leave. Battery changes have to be done on track. If your car breaks, and you have to fix it, you will be re-teched before you get back on the track.
I'm gonna try to fit everyone in on the screen here. Alright, that's too small. Alright, this covers most of the people here. So this is the bracket of the day. So you see the first round, and then the winners will battle the second round and so on. We're gonna go through this as quickly as we can, and then we'll award the winner for the USA Finals, the Super Drift Championship Finals. All right. So, as you can see, round one will be Bretsky. Not Bretsky, Bertsky. I can't read, I'm sorry. Bertsky versus Juan. Ryan, remember, if I read your name first, that means you're in the lead position. So let's start over again. Bertsky versus Juan G. Rhino versus Brandon. Jason versus James Gray. Shane M versus Jelani. Ron versus David S. Michael Gray versus Mikey. Manny versus David L. Dennis versus Alexander. Alan versus Devin. Chris versus Tigga. Michael Devin versus Alec P. Brett versus Zach. And Ricky versus Gavin. So we already figured out for next year, we're going to go ahead and do a 2-day event. So we do a qualifier one day and then do the main event next day so that we can knock it out quicker than try to drag it all in one day and make it late. So next year's event will be a 2-day event, qualifier one day and the final battle the next day. Hey Steve, let me see you real quick. Let me fix that. I gotta fix the practice real quick. I forgot. I gotta update the brackets, guys. Because the winner from rookie class has a seed in the expert class, so I made a mistake. So Jackson. So Jackson will be added as the bottom seed. He'll be actually in the final, the expert class as well. Alright, bracket is now set. I didn't have it right, sorry. My mistake. Brackets are now set. So the first round is the people that need to be on the track. Once again, the first round, the first column. If your name is up here, you need to get on the track, and the tech and everything does apply. So you need to stay on the track and make sure you cannot remove your car. Then when the first round's done, the second round of people, you'll load your car then. So right now, be the first round. I'm going to read them out. Juan versus Alexander. Rhino versus James. Jason versus Tigga. Shane versus Mikey. Shane M versus Mikey. Ron versus Jackson. Michael Gray versus Zach. Manny versus David S. Bertsky versus Alec. Alan versus Brandon. Chris versus Davin. Michael Devin versus Jelani. Brett versus Devin. Devin, yeah. And then Ricky versus David. So these names that I've read need to be on the track. Juan, Alexander, Rhino, James, Jason, Tigga, Shane M, Mikey C, Ron, Jackson, Michael Gray, Zach, Manny, Jason S, Bertsky, Alec, Alan, Brandon, Chris, Davin, Michael Devin, Jelani, Brett, Devin, Ricky, and David. You guys can get on the track. Christopher Gross. Yes. All right, let's get everybody on the track. Read your name once again. Juan. I'm Juan. I'm thinking wrong. Sorry. Rhino. Oh yeah, I read it right. Juan versus Alexander. Rhino and James are on deck. Jason versus Tiga after that. Shane M versus Mikey after that. Ron versus Jackson. Michael versus Zach. Mandy versus David S. Bernsky versus Alec versus Brandon. Chris versus Davin. Michael versus Jelani. Brett versus Devin. Ricky versus David. Do I have all round one participants on the track? 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have 24 cars. I should have 24 cars, 24 cars only.
Remember, the people who are driving, they get to stand wherever they would like or prefer to drive. So if someone wants to stand where you're standing while they drive, please move.
So now we're in expert class.
Joe, can you repeat first bracket, please?
First bracket is Rhino versus, can't read. Juan versus Alexander. Juan G versus Alexander. If I read your name, that means you're in the lead position. So Juan would be in the lead, Alexander would be in the chase. They're off. So Juan, as soon as they go on that qualifying line, here goes Alexander applying that pressure right on his fender. And he goes, diving into that second hairpin. Looks like trying to pull away from Alexander. See what happens there. And Alexander closes the gap. Oh no! Looks like Juan hits the wall. Very nice. Let's see what the judges say. Well, they're going to switch positions now. Alexander take the lead. Alright, Alexander in that orange Corolla. I'm not sure what happened there. Might have technical difficulties. And then Juan goes for the pass. It looks like Juan's going to do that free ride. It looks like Alexander might have technical difficulties. Let's see what happens. Alright, finishing strong. Both drivers very nice here. Yes.
We're going to go with one more time. There's a little bit on both cars on the lead.
Alright, you guys heard they both made a mistake on their runs, so it's a one more time battle. So now that they're both warmed up, probably going to do a lot better. Here we go. to the lead again. Here we go. Right, one out front. Here goes Alexander. Finds that pressure again. They go to the sweeper. Very nice. Going around the second zone. Ooh, looks like Juan trying to pull away. Alexander right there with him. Both drivers did a great job down the middle here. Here's the final clip before the judges. Let's see how they do. Oh, wow. Wow. Very nice here. You can tell the drivers have warmed up, tires feel a little bit better. The cold starts hard. Here we go. And they're off. Alexander out front. Ooh, nice. Here they go. One on the chase. Knocked down his door. Alexander did a great job on that qualifying line. Whoa! Going around obstacles. Let's see what happens there. Not sure what happened. Looked like one's on the inside. But here they go down the middle. Very nice. Alexander transitions to the last zone. There is one on his door pitching strong for the judges. Very nice. This was a one-more-time battle. Let's see what the judges have a winner here.
Alexander advances, Juan caused contact on the second clip on his chase.
Alexander takes the win on that one. Juan caused contact on that second zone, I guess. Here we go. Give Juan the point here. Up next, looks like it's Rhino versus Michael Gray. Rhino versus Michael Gray. And they're off. Rhino off front. All the way from San Jose. Michael Gray, 805 over here. Here they go through the second zone. Rhino doing a great job at that qualifying line. Looks like Michael's going to apply that pressure. Both of them going down the middle here. Going down the last zone for the judges. Whoa, going there. Wow. Right on the wall. I thought he was going to hit. I'm at the edge of my seat here. They're going to switch positions. Michael, you lead. Here we go. Michael with that BRZ, BR Sport. Here comes Rhino with the S15, applying that pressure. Wow. I'm not letting him get away. Applying that pressure all the way through as he should. Then they go through the middle. Rhino's making sure not to make contact as he should, and then Michael's trying to get away. Wow. Wow. Good job from Michael, and Rhino was right on his door the whole time. It's a good job.
Rhino advances, and Michael unfortunately had a little bit of contact on his lead run.
All right, you heard it. Rhino takes the win on that one. All right. Up next, we have, second here. We have Jason versus Tigga. Jason, you're in the lead position. Tigga, you're in the chase position. The judges will signal you guys in as soon as they're ready for you. Very nice, Jason. Trying to get away, have a nice little cushion, see if you can enjoy it. But it looks like Tigga is applying the pressure, closing in on him as he should. Looks like both drivers are kind of going side by side as they go through the middle. Very nice as they go to the last zone for the judges. Oh, Jason right that wall. I'm not sure, but I have had contact there. I'm not sure if Tigga made contact. Let's see what happens. Tigga, you're going to lead, and Jason's going to chase. Arizona versus SoCal. Here we go. Wow. Speaking of this, you can see angle by Tigga. Here comes Jason knocking on the door, trying to apply that pressure as they go to the second zone. Wow. Oh, looks like Tim's trying to pull away. It's a little bit of cushion so you can enjoy it. Here comes the last clip for the judges. Comes in a little late, but he finishes strong, and Jason's right there with him. Wow. Let's take it all the way. James from Arizona visiting us. Thank you for visiting us. And Jason, SoCal here.
Jason advances. Tigger had a little bit of contact on his chase going into the last clip.
There you go. So that little bump did do him in. He did make contact. That will give Jason the win. All right. Up next, we have Shane M versus Mikey. Shane M versus Mikey. And the judges will signal you guys in as soon as they're ready for you. Here we go. Oh, interesting. James went out wide, and then I'm not sure what happened, and then Mikey went inside. Here they go, finishing strong for the judges. I'm not sure how they're going to call that one. It's interesting. Yes. All right, let's switch positions now. Very nice here. Mike's trying to pull away. Oh no. Okay, that was another interesting run here.
Always remember to finish your run regardless, but we are going to go with one more time.
Okay, I apologize. Yeah, I should have made that clear. You guys always have to finish your run. Do not stop until the judges tell you to stop or go back to the starting line. You don't decide. The judges will decide for you. So you just keep driving until the end. So we're going to restart this. Mikey, you're in the lead position. I don't know, is it Shane? I'm sorry. Shane is in the lead position. Botched it. Here we go. Shane in the lead position. Mikey in the chase. Here we go. One more time. Ooh, right out of the gate. Shane takes a big lead. Here comes into the second zone as Mikey's trying to close the gap. Then we go around the second hairpin. Looks like Mikey's getting a little bit close, but Shane's not quite a bit of distance as he goes in the last zone. Puts it down for the judges. Very nice. And here comes Mikey finishing. All right, much better run this time, guys. Now, Mikey, you're going to lead now. All right. And they're off. Nice. Mikey initiates. Here comes Shane. Applies that pressure. Wow, very nice. There we go, into the second zone. Now they're going to the middle. Ooh, Mikey's trying to pull away. Here comes Shane, trying to close that gap. Both of them finishing strong for the judges side by side. Wow.
All right, Shane advances. He was able to produce a better lead from there.
Shane produced a better lead, better chase, so Shane will take the win on that one. Good job, Shane. See who's next here. Shane takes the win. I'm giving the point. Up next, we have Ron versus Jackson. Ron versus Jackson. Once again, Jackson did battle all the way from the rookie class, the sportsman class, all the way on up to to get himself a seat in the expert class. So see what happens here. Ron, you're in the lead. Jackson, you're on the cage. Jackson hasn't lost yet. Let's see what happens. Jackson in the teal Mustang. And they're off. Ron takes off right out of the gate. Here comes Jackson closing in. They go to the sweeper. Very nice here. Ron's doing a great job on the qualifying line. Here comes Jackson trying to close that gap as he goes through the zones. All right, big initiation by Ron. Oh, very nice here. Trying to pull away. Here comes Jackson trying to close that gap. Here comes the last zone. Oh, not sure what happened. I'm not sure if he made contact. We'll see what the judges say. It was close. I couldn't see. So let's see what they say. Jackson in the lead. Here we go. Ron from Arizona. Putting it down. Here it is. Jackson working his way all the way up from the Sportsman class. Initiates into the sweeper. Riding that outer clip as he should. Nice and smooth driving as he goes to the second zone. Enters a little bit late, but here goes Ron around his tail. Here they go. Around the second hairpin. Down the middle. There's that nose clip. Oh! Oh no, almost a full rotation on that one. I'm not sure what's gonna. Wow. Might be, let's see what they call it, because if Ron has contact too, then it might be one more time. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Both runs cancel out one more time.
One more time. Looks like Ron did get contact called on him, and Jackson did almost spin out there. So it's a one more time battle. Let's clean it up. Here we go again. Ron from Arizona, Jackson from SoCal. Here we go. All right, Ron initiates. Here's Jackson on his door. Oh no, looks like Jackson washed out a little bit here. Ron enjoys a little bit of cushion as he goes around the qualifying line. Here comes Jackson. Let's see what happens here. Nice job on that qualifying line. Ron hits the nose to the exit. Very nice. Here goes Jackson finishing up strong. Very nice here. All right. This is our one more time battle between Jackson and Ron. They're going to switch positions. Jackson's in the lead. Here we go. Very nice Jackson in the qualifying line. Here comes Ron applying that pressure. Here they go into the second zone. Now they're from the hairpin to the middle. Ooh, Ron applying that pressure. Here's the last zone. Very nice side-by-side finish. Wow, what a run. This is a much better run on the second run. You guys did really good this time.
Epic one more time. Ron does advance. Jackson unfortunately had a little contact on his face.
All right, you guys heard it. Great job, Jackson. Keeping it out all the way from the bottom. Sorry. Ron takes the win on that one. Representing Arizona, 10 RC with his 182R plus. All right, let me go ahead and give Ron the point and see who's up next. Michael Gray versus Zach. Michael Gray, you're in the lead against Zach. Let's do it. Michael, you're in the lead. Zach, you're on the chase. We got SoCal versus Arizona. Zach visiting us from Arizona, number 808 car.
There's an error on that card. It's actually Rhino that advanced. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. I think there might be some confusion.
Okay, maybe I messed something up here. What happened? Okay. I guess we switched the grays together, I guess. I'm not sure. Do you want to redo the battle between Rhino versus James Gray then? If this is still round one, so we can redo that battle. Because he battled for the other Gray. Those switch. That's not how the bracket was formed. So it's up to the judges what you guys want to do. Right now, we just redo that battle. Nothing really changed. It's still round one. It doesn't impact anything on round two yet.
Where do they qualify?
Qualify? Hold on.
Check their score.
Okay, let me see. Wait, slowly. Okay. Looks like Michael Gray scored a 40. Well, it's like it's like really laggy. Michael Gray scored a 48. And then James Gray scored 28. Michael Gray scored a 48, and then James scored a 28.
Let's just go with redo.
Okay, we're gonna redo. So the other battle still play. It still counts. We just gotta redo just that battle. So let me go back. I'll say here. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, guys. All right, I got it. Here we go. So we're gonna rewind it just for that battle for Rhino. Rhino in the lead position against James Gray. All right. So this is Rhino. You're in the lead position against James Gray. We're going to redo that battle because we had to mix up the names. I think I called the wrong name out. My apologies here. Rhino versus James Gray. We're going to redo this battle right now. So we're going to switch this up here. Alright, the judges will send you guys in on green. Alright, Rhino on the front. James on the chase. Rhino doing a great job on that qualifying line. Here comes James trying to apply that pressure. Rhino pulls away. Here they go to the last zone. Very nice job of Rhino, finishing strong. Looks like James may have made a crash and a contact. Very nice there. Let's have you switch positions here. And they're off. James out front, Rhino applying that pressure as they go around the second zone. Wow, side by side they go, and they go around the second hairpin. Round doing a great job. Try to apply that pressure. Here comes James. Oh, goes a little short. Round hangs on there. Wow. Very nice there. So this is a review battle between Rhino and James. I guess I had miscalled the number. So Rhino versus James. Let's see if we have a winner.
So when Rhino was going into the sweep on his lead, he unfortunately made some contact on the wall, which allows James to advance to the next round.
All right, you guys heard it. James takes the win on that one. All right. Here we go. Alright, so I fixed it now. So now James will advance. Now we're going to move on to Michael versus Zach. Back to the original battle here. So Michael versus Zach. Michael, you're in the lead position. Zach, you're on the chase position. They're off. Michael on that fault line. Here from Zach, applying that pressure. Ooh, right on his door, making sure not to hit him. It looks very sick here. And then Mark 2, to apply that pressure. Ooh. I'm trying to get away. Then they go to the last zone. Ooh, finishing strong. Very nice there. Wow. And they're off. Right tap, initiates, pretty good on the sweeper he goes. Here comes Michael trying to close the gap. And they go to the second zone. Wow. Here he goes around the second clip, second hairpin. Here comes Michael trying to apply that pressure. Doesn't quite get to the end. Finishing strong for the judges. Nice job. Yes. That was Zach versus Michael.
There were a few issues on both of their leads with some contact, so one more time.
All right. You guys both had some mistakes here, so it was a one more time battle. Need you guys to clean it up. Here we go. Michael, you know, lead. Zach, gonna chase. Here we go. All right. All right. Michael initiates. Very nice here. Had a slow down, but not sure what's going to happen. Here comes Zach. He's trying to apply that pressure. Looks like he may have even made contact on that wall. He's trying to catch up as they go through the last zone before the judge. Very nice.
We're going to have to redo that first run. Unfortunately, someone blocked in vision of Zach when he was coming out of the gate.
Oh, okay. Once again, please don't do any moves or anything that's happening. So Michael taking the lead, or yeah, Michael takes the lead. Here we go. One more time. This is one more time battle. We gotta redo it because someone walked in front of Zach. Please don't walk. Here we go. Okay. Michael in front. Big initiation. Comes a little strong that clip. Here comes Zach. Just close in on them. Apply that pressure. Very nice here. Looks like Looks like he's trying to go nice and deep. Here comes Zach, staying right on him. As they go through the last zone, side by side. Finishing strong. Wow, very nice here. We're going to switch positions. Zach going to take the lead. Here we go. One more time out. Zach doing a great job on that qualifying line. Here he goes on the second zone. Now they go through the hairpin to the middle. Looks like Michael's right there with him. Zach initiates the last clip, nice and deep. Finishing strong, there's Michael too. Very nice. All right. All right, Chuck is still deliberating here. All right. Judges are still deliberating. While they're deliberating, we're going to go ahead and give a little plug to the sponsors again. I do want to screen here, thank them very much for making this event possible. They donated over $7,200 worth of stuff, making this event an awesome event. Yes, thank you, sponsors, for making it happen here. Yeah. Also, we're going to replay. The judges want to clarify something. Once again, we're going to see the replay in action. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's interesting. We're going to watch what the judges are watching. So when they're confused about a call, they're going to zoom in, they're going to slow it down, frame by frame it, and see who's at fault. We always felt that if we just kind of rush the decision, it's possible you'll give someone a win. So this is a replay, watching the judges are watching. They're probably trying to figure out something, if someone may have made contact, they went out of bounds. Yeah, you can turn off your car if you want, but you cannot remove your car from the track. So, just like Manny was saying earlier, if you guys need to do a battery swap, you can do so on the track. You just cannot remove the car or have to retake the car. We're going to check the weight, we're going to check the tires. We're not trying to retake. So if you want to turn off your car, you can. And if you want, once you turn drive, you can just go ahead and power back up. Not a problem.
All right, so we were comparing lead runs. Zach was able to stay in the clips for longer, a little deeper, so Zach does advance.
All right, you guys heard it. They're comparing the lead run to lead run. So So it looks like Zach did a little better on that one. So Zach will take the win against Michael. You can go ahead and give Zach a point on that one. Alright, moving on here. Zach gets the point. Alright, next battle, your very own judge. Maggie versus David S. Manny versus David S. Alright, let's quiet it down. We're going to continue the battles here. Let's quiet it down, guys. Let's get it going. Okay. This is Manny in the lead. David on the chase. Here we go. And they're off. Manny's in lead position. Kicks it out. Lots of speed here. Here comes David. Closing in on him. Ooh, interesting here as we go to the second zone. Manny taking it a little easy there as he's trying to keep it smooth. David's right there applying that pressure as he should. Both drivers go towards the last clip. Very nice here. Yes. Alright, yes. Alright, switching it up. Big issues for David as he gets up on that wall. Very nice. Here comes Manny knocking on his door. Both drivers go to the second zone. David holding on. Here comes Manny trying to apply that pressure as he should. David going nice and wide around the second zone. There he goes to the middle. Here's the last zone for the judges. Wow. Oh, very nice. Manny right there on the door all the way finish. A little shimmy action maybe. I'm not sure how that's going to be judged, but it's a little shitty.
Many advances, better lead, better chase.
Alright, you guys heard it. Manny will take the win. He had a better lead and a better chase run. Great job by David. Put a heck of a fight here. Alright. Up next. Bertsky versus Alec. Bertsky versus Alec. Alright, let's keep it down, guys. We have the judge, they're competing right now. Bertsky, you're in the lead. Alec, you're on the chase. NorCal versus Arizona. Possible here at the finals. And they're off. Bertsky initiates, keeping it nice and smooth as he shifts. Here comes Alec knocking on his door. Oh no, he might have sent something to the rail there. Let's see what happens as they go around the second hair clip. Check it. And here they go in the last zone. Bertsky doing a great job going through that zone. And here comes Alec. Wow. Very nice one here, guys. Alec, you're going to take the lead. Bertsky providing chase. Here we go. And they're off. Alec trying to pull away and go to the sweeper. Here comes Bertsky knocking on this door. Oh no, look like Alec may have had another contact at the same spot. I'm not sure how that's going to be called here. As, Curtis on his door. Applying that pressure all the way through. Whoa. Wow. Knocking on it.
Bertsky advances and Alec unfortunately had some contact on his lead chase in the second clip.
Alright, you heard it. Bertsky takes it, Alec has some contact, and that's going to do it for them. Let me go ahead and update the score here as Bertsky takes the win and advances. First beat advance. Up next, we have Alan B versus Brandon Ted. Alan B versus Brandon. A little earlier picture of Alan, but it's still Alan.
Alright, so we have Alan versus Ted One Drift. Let's get started.
Right, Alan representing T Zention and Brandon Ted representing Ted Woodruff. Here we go. And they're off. Alan initiated his Fat BRC body. Ooh. Here comes Ted in the 350Z, providing chase here, trying to apply that pressure. Both drivers go through the middle here. Alan piloting his other car, his MST, making it look nice and easy here. Here comes Ted closing in. Ooh, Alan going nice and deep as he should. Ooh, Ted right there, finishing strong. Wow. They're going to switch positions. 10 here, I take the lead now. Number 16 car, here we go. And they're off. Ooh. 10 yards initiate. Looks like he may have slipped into the wall, not sure. Alan applying that pressure, may have gotten him. Alan was right there on his door. And 10 had a little difficulty there. Making it possibly going to be a nice easy win for Alan here. See what happens. Very nice there. That was a nice battle.
Alan advances, Ted had a little bit of contact.
Alright, you heard it. I think, Ted drew, he contacted the sweeper rail, and Alan will take the win on that one. Here we go. Let me go ahead and update the scores here. Alan, you'll take the win, point. Moving on here. Chris versus Davin. Chris Gross versus Davin. Oh man, there's so many Davids, it's like 4 of them. Alright, hopefully that's Chris, that's the right tab. Alright, here we go. Chris, you're in the lead, all the way from MSS. Davin from Arizona. And they're off. Chris initiates, right, the super nice and quick flick. Then they go to second zone. Wow, no distance between them. Ooh, looks like Chris gave you some major boost there as you go through the second zone. As they go down the middle. Wow, no distance between them. Flicking it right into the last zone before the judges. Nice and easy. Both drivers are really easy. Wow. All right. They're going to switch positions. Davin, you're going to take the lead, all the way from Arizona. Chris from Michigan. Here we go. All right. Davin initiates. Here comes Chris quick to close the gap, knocking on his door. Davin doing a great job with that qualifying line, going nice and smooth, all the way up the outside. Very nice hit. Here goes Chris applying that pressure as they go down the middle. Both cars side by side to a nose cone into the last zone. Wow. 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 That's one of the nice runs of the night, guys. This is why this is the U.S. finals. We have people from all over the U.S. driving for the first time together and putting down laps like that. Wow. That was Chris from Michigan, representing NSS Site Syndicate, and Davin from Arizona representing Tandem RC. A couple of 92s here. 92 Volcan versus Razor. I think I spelled Razor wrong. Brass T. I apologize. Do we have a winner? Back to the replay we go.
We're gonna check the replay real quick.
All right, back to the replay we go.
We're gonna be looking at the second clip on Chris's lead.
Looking at the second clip on Chris's lead run. I think that's when Chris had a lot of that boost going on. They're probably trying to look to see if Chris slowed down and he's going to be at fault for that. I think that's what they're talking about, but I'm not the judge. So we'll see. That's the second one. We go back. All right, here we go. This is Chris's lead run. There was a questionable what happened on the second clip on the hairpin. So the judges are going to review this replay footage here to see what happened. Trying to see if there was if it's too slow, was there contact, what happened? Okay.
So what we were looking at was Chris slowed down and heavily so he wouldn't make contact on the wall. So he created a contact. Down advances.
All right. You guys heard it. So because Chris slowed down so much, he actually caused the accident from happening. So Davin from Arizona will take the win on that one. Chris did put a hell of a fight. That was a really 6-second run on the switch, but Davin will take the points on that one. So Davin, you take it. Now we've got Michael Dedman versus Jelani. Michael Dedman versus Jelani. Alright, once again, battery changes are allowed. You can turn on the car, you can do stuff, but it has to be on the track. So Mike Dedman from Nevada representing Slide Lights in his number 8 car. Jelani in SoCal representing non-negotiable. We cannot discuss, we cannot negotiate this in his 182 custom. Okay, here we go. Alright, and they're off. Mike Dedman out front initiates. Jelani knocking on his board. Both drivers do a great job on qualifying line. Oh, very nice here. Jelani's applying that pressure as he should as chase car. Here comes Mike Dedman trying to get out of the middle zone here. That full wave. Both drivers in the nose. So exit clip before the judges. Wow. Wow. We're going to switch positions now as Jelani here now as a lead against Mike. Here we go. And they're off. Jelani did a great job staying on the outside and wall riding on that sweeper. Here we go across the middle here. Jelani did a great job at qualifying line. Here goes Mike trying to apply that pressure as they go around the last zone for the judges. Very nice, finishing strong.
Checking out the first run coming out of the gate.
We're going to replay the footage here. We're trying to figure out what's going on. The replay.
Alright, so what we're looking at right now is Michael coming out of the gate on so as you can see, Michael hits right there, which causes him to lose line and Jelani make contact. So this is a first crash apply kind of rule, and Jelani advances.
Alright, you guys heard it. Very nice. And Michael did contact the rails with their standing, and he's going to get a fault for that. It was a great run, but Jelani will take the win on that one. I'm going to go ahead and change the points here. Okay. Up next, I think we have Brett, all the way from Vegas, versus Devin from NorCal. Brett from Vegas versus Devin from NorCal. And remember, if you guys are ever out in Vegas, check out Slide Lines. Brett will welcome you with open arms. So it's Brett versus Devin. Judges will send you guys in on three. Brett, you're in the lead. Devin, Chase. And they're off. Brett's in the lead. Quick out of the gate, initiates. Here comes Devin. Find that pressure. Just try to close in. Brett tries to send that qualifying line. Doing a great job here. Here comes Devin. Trying to close the gap. Brett's trying to pull away in that nose clip to the last zone. Oh, all the way to the rail. Here comes Devin finishing strong. Wow. All right. Devin, you're now in the lead, representing limited traction for NorCal. Brett from Nevada, chasing. And they're off. Devin initiates nice and smooth as they go through the sweeper. Brett's right on his door as they go through the second zone now. Wow. Very little distance between them. Looks like they're switching it up simultaneously as they go to the middle. Then they go initiating into the last zone. Wow. Wow. Now that's a good run.
Devin advances. Brett had a little bit of contact in a couple areas on his chase.
All right, you guys heard it. Brett had contact on his chase, so Devin will take that one. Let me go ahead and update the score here. That was a very nice and aggressive chase by Brett, but the contacts did cost him that battle. Up next is the last of round one. It's Ricky versus David. Ricky versus David L. of Vegas. Wait, let's make sure here. Ricky, you lead, yes. David from Vegas. And Ricky from Michigan here. Here we go. And they're off. Michigan versus Vegas. Here we go. Big initiation by Ricky, doing a great job on the qualifying line. Here comes David applying that pressure against Corolla. FC versus Corolla, classic strip battle here as they go through the second zone around the hairpin. They go down the middle. Let's see what happens. They go through that nose zone. Okay, before the judges. In the zone a little bit, and that right there finishing strong. Wow. That was Ricky versus David. Michigan versus Nevada. They're switching positions. Here we go. All right, David, you're in the lead now with your Corolla. Here comes Ricky closing in, applying that pressure. David doing a great job on that qualifying line. Ricky right there with him, side by side as they go to the second zone. Down the middle they go. Whoa, no distance between them. Here they go to the last zone. Before the judges. Oh, David all up in that clip. Ricky was right there, but a little bit shallow. Not sure what's going to happen here. That was a good run. still deliberating to this battle between Ricky, number 216, versus David, number 242. This expert class here at the 2020 USA Finals for the Super Championship. We'll plug the sponsors here, of course, as the judges deliberating. Thank you, Futaba, Overdose, DS Racing, Acrobat, Skill Reflex, Top Line, Yokomo, Tamiya, Vertex RC, RC Arlos, MSC, much more, Micro RC Protec, and Demi Works. Thank them and thank all you guys for coming out and supporting it. Watching our secure world has been awesome. Seeing more and more prizes and support from the vendors is great. Oh, looks like the judges are going to replay, which we're going to pay attention to.
Ricky advances. David had some contact going into the sweep on his lead run.
Alright, you guys heard it. Ricky takes it. David made some contact as he was initiating into the sweeper, his run. So Ricky will take the win on that one. And that will wrap up the round one. So now we're going to go to round two. So I need all the cars for round two on the track. Some of you guys from round one are on there too. Alright, so I'll read it to you in case you can't read it. Kobe, Alexander, Joseph, Sam, Shane Collins, James Gray, Nico, Jason, Austin, Shane, the other Shane, Kua, Brian, Ron, Hal, Zach, Daniel, Manny, Aiden, Bertsky, Nick, Chris, Mark, Allen, Chris Steele, Davin, David, Giovanni, Derek, Austin, Raymond, Devin, Terrell, and Ricky. All you guys are in the next round. This is pretty much, I think it's like top 32 now. So after this round, we top 16. And then 8, and then 4, 3, 2, 1. Remember, we are giving away $500 to whoever's going to be DK of the day, which is also DK for the entire battle. So let's get those cars on the track. The judges, if you guys need some rest, take a break. Judges, are you good? Judges are good to go. So let's get all the cars on the track. And your car stays on the track. If you need to do a battery pull, on the track. If you take the car off the track, you're going to be re-tagged. We're going to check the tires, we're going to check the weight. Get your car on the track, that's it. It stays on the track. You can turn off your car, that's fine, but it needs to stay on the track. More time. First battle will be Kobe versus Alexander. Second battle, Joseph versus Sam. Shane Collins versus James Gray. Nico versus Jason. Austin versus Shane, the other Shane. So I'll call them out, kind of groups of 4 or 5, so you guys can keep it fresh in your head. Make sure you're ready so we speed things up. Okay, Kobe, you're in the lead. You're going to read your name. You're in the lead position against Alexander. Here we go. Remember, the drivers are competing each other the prime spot. So if you're spectating, you're not a judge. You need to scoot over. Or you can step on right next to each other. That's fine too. Alright, Kobe in lead position, representing SoCal, Alexander from Nevada. Here we go. Alright, Kobe in the blue FC, big initiation here, very nice. Here goes Alexander in the orange Corolla, applying that pressure to go to the sweeper. Here we go, got a sweeper. Oh, Kobe initiates into the next hairpin as they go down the middle towards that nose cone, all the way to the last zone. Nice and deep, very nice here. Wow, side by side finish. All right. They're off. Alexander in the Corolla initiates. Here comes Kobe, chases him down as they go to the second zone. Here they go, down the middle. Alexander doing a good job on that qualifying line. Here they go, into the last zone. Kobe right there with it, finishing strong, side by side. Wow. Kobe representing Team Zention out here in SoCal. Alexander from Nevada. I think we got team number 999 versus number 666.
Alright, so Colby advances. Alexander had some contact in a couple areas on his chase run.
Alright, it's great driving for both drivers. Colby will take it. Alexander has some contact in some areas. Alright, then they'll pick the brackets here. Good job, Colby, and great job, Alexander. Up next, we have Joseph in the lead against Sam. Joseph, you're in the lead against Sam. And they're off. All right, Joseph initiates. Here comes Sam, applying that pressure. Joseph in that gold RX-7, let's go through the middle here. Here comes Sam, trying to close the gap as they apply the pressure for the judges. Oh, wow, interesting. Very nice here, they switch positions here. They go to the zone. Sam initiates in the second zone. Here comes Joseph. Applying that pressure. Very nice. Both drivers go to that no zone as they go to the last zone before the judges. Wow, finishing strong. Very nice. That was between Joseph and Sam.
Sam advances. He had a better lead and better chase.
Sam advances. He had better lead, better chase. Alright. Up next, Shane Collins versus James Gray. Shane Collins versus James Gray. James. What's a J? Alright. Shane, you're in the lead. James, you're on the chase. Trevor, see when you guys when you're ready. Okay, nice initiation by Shane. Trying to make it look easy as he goes to the cliff. Go nice and deep as he should. Looks like James has a little bit of a technical difficulty here. Shane's going to enjoy a little bit of a cushion as he goes to the cliffs. Make it look easy. Nice and deep for the judge, putting out a show. Very nice. Nice. Here's James finishing strong. Alright. We need to switch it up here. Oops. James, you're going to take the lead now. Here we go. Initiation by James. James staying on the qualifying line. Interesting here. Looks like James went a little bit shallow on that sweeper. Shane's was knocking on his tailgate and now the front. Now the door. Here they go. Into the middle they go. James trying to get away, but Shane's going to close in. Finishing strong for the judges. Very nice.
Shane advances. He was able to produce a better lead and a better chase.
Alright, you guys heard it. Shane advances. He had a better lead and a better chase. You can do the attempt by James. Let me get Shane's point here. Up next, Nico versus Jason. And then on deck is Austin Green versus Shane Bakula. So right now I have Nico versus Jason. And the judges will signal you guys in on green. Nico outside the body, and here's Jason closing in. You will do a great job that qualifying line. Nice and smooth. Jason's closing in, trying to apply that pressure as they go to the middle. There it is. Final clip for the judges. Riding that rail, finishing strong side by side. That's nice. That's what they want to see as the final clip. Full commitment. Now let's switch positions. There we go. Jason initiates. Here comes Nico closing in on the gap. Applying that pressure. Oh no, looks like Jason made contact on that rail here, but people still knocking on his door. That pressure may have knocked him as they go through the middle here. Swinging back. Here we go. The lasso. Wow. Bill, this is completed.
Miko advances. Jason has some contact on his lead going into the second clip.
Alright, you guys heard it. Eagle advances. Eagle will take that win on that one. And we give Eagle the point. Up next, we have Austin Green versus Shane Bakula. Ryan versus Ron. Kyle versus Zach. Then Daniel Y. Daniele versus Manny. Here we go. Hold on a second here. Alright, so this is Austin Green versus Shane Bakula. There you go. Let's go to the set. Austin doing a great job on that qualifying line. Here comes Shane. Applying that pressure all the way through. Let's go to the middle here. And then the last one before the judges. Let's see what happens here. Oh, closing in. Nice. So we're going to switch positions here. Alright, Shane's doing a great job on qualifying night. Here comes Austin applying that pressure to go through the second zone. They're going around the air pit to the middle. And then on that no zone, see what happens? Very nice, clear it, and they go for the judges. Okay, so some of the cards are very nice.
We're going to be checking out the replay on both runs, the last clip.
Alright, finally got Austin's picture of them. So we'll go to replay. That's Austin from Missouri and Shane from Arizona on Missouri battling Arizona. Here we go to replay. So they're watching replay to see what the judges see. So we're still watching what the judges are watching. Let's see what's happening here. So the replay system really lets the judges ridicule every last thing to make sure they're not cheating someone to win. Because if you just say one more time, that's kind of like a too easy thing to do. So when we're watching it, we want to make sure we're not robbing anyone to win. We stand by our calls. All the videos are on YouTube. You can watch it over. You see exactly what happens. See right there? Saw something, maybe. Let's see what the judge is going to look for. Let's replay once again.
Hey Joe, the red S13, that's Austin, right? Okay, Austin advances. He was to stay deeper in the majority of clips and especially in the last clip as well.
Alright, you guys heard that the S13 was deeper in the clips, so he's going to take that one. Did a great job by Shane. All the way from Arizona, down all the way from Missouri. This is a really great thing to see. We're hoping to see more of this next year. Alright, can you give off the point here? Alright, up next we have Ryan versus Ron. Ryan versus Ron. And they're off. Ryan is S13. Ron is S15. Here we go through the second zone. Ryan rocking out to SS3. Ron is swing chase. Very nice. Here to go to the last zone. Wow, that's indeed very nice. Ryan's the FRD guy, but now he's trying to 1D2 out. Here we go. And they're off. Ron takes the lead. Here we go. Quick initiative to big angle. A little short on the clip, but Ryan's right there with him, hanging on as he goes to the second zone. Oh, very nice. Ron keeping it on the rail all the way nice and wide. Ryan's trying to apply that pressure. And they go to the no zone. To the last clip for the judges. Full commitment here. Both drivers. Wow. Those are the kiss the wall. I'm not sure if they did, but it looks super close. Very nice here.
Ron advances. Ryan unfortunately has some contact on his lead.
Alright, you guys heard it. Ron takes the lead. Ryan has some contact on his lead run. So we're going to go ahead and set that up now here. Alright. Ron takes the win on that one. Up next, we have Hal versus Zachary. Hal versus Zach. his Supra. Right in that wall, here comes Zach and his Mark II as they go to the second zone. Very nice, very nice. Here they go into the second hairband, into the middle zone. Super out front, Mark II the chase. Oh, here they go, the last zone, nice and deep, all the way through the zone. Very nice. That's what we want to see, full commitment. Al representing wall riding in SoCal. Well, he was North Carolina, SoCal. Zach from Arizona. Here we go. And they're off. Zach in his Mark II initiates. Nice and clean to that sweeper. Here comes Hal looping in as they go to the second zone. Looks like Hal's trying to apply that pressure, which he does do a great job of. And here comes Zach trying to get away as he gets on the qualifying line. Hitting with the last zone. Nice and deep. Oh, side by side. I think they're not even touching those so close. Wow. That was Hal from SoCal now. And we have Zach from Arizona.
How advances better shape.
You guys heard it. Hal had better lead and a better chase. Takes the win on that one against Zach. Point out here. So up next I have, looks like, Daniel versus Manny. Daniel versus Manny. Daniel, you're going to be in the lead position. Manny, you're going to be in the chase position. All right. Daniel in the Supra initiates into the sweeper. Here goes Manny with S13 closing in, trying to apply that pressure. Wow, both drivers taking a clean lap side by side to go to the second zone, to the third zone. And here's the last zone. Wow. Both drivers. You see a lot of really good speed here. Both Super G regulars here. They've done this before. We're gonna switch positions here. Manny will take the lead. And they're off. Manny initiates, and it's a Super G body. And Daniel provides chase, and that new Supra. Then they go to a second zone, down supplying that pressure. Into that third zone, very nice here. They go side by side in the nose zone. Let's see what happens. Manny goes right through it. Here's Daniel applying that pressure right at the end. All right, finishing strong, side by side. Let's see what happens here. That was Daniel representing Team Zention. Manny representing Rockview, Top of USA. Team Top of USA. EX2 versus SX2, the previous generation of SX premium cars. Judges go to replay here. Well, thank you guys for hanging in there. I know it's been a long day. Trying our best here. We had a lot of raffle prizes to give away, a lot of people to watch, so it's going to take a little bit longer than usual. So we're planning next year's event to be a 2-day. We will qualify 1 day. Next day we'll do the raffle and do the main event, so it will be as long of a day. While they're doing that, we're going to give a shout out to the sponsors here. Once again, Futaba, Overdose, PS Racing, Acumasca, Reflex, Hotline, Yokomo, Tavia, Vertex RC, RC Arlos, MST, much more, Electric RC, Protec, and DemiWorks.
All right, we're gonna go one more time.
All right, you guys heard it. We're going to go one more time here. One more time battle. Daniel initiates again. Both drivers warmed up. Let's see them put on a good show now. Here's Daniel, the purple new Supra with the Liberty walk in here. And Matt providing chase. And there's 13 as they go through the second zone. Then they go down the middle. Wow, side by side. Both full commitment into the last zone. Side by side finish. Wow. That was a very nice one more time battle. They're off. Mandy, this is your reflex. Here we go. Big initiation. Nice on that wall. Very nice. Daniel's trying to provide chase. Here we go. Now line in the second zone. Going around here to the second hairpin. Alright. Down the middle they go. Mandy initiates the last zone. Goes nice and deep. Daniel right there. Oh, no. What just happened?
We all know what happened. Daniel bounces.
Yeah. Right at the end, looks like Manny botched it here. Good job, Manny. Good job, Manny. Alright. Looks like Daniel will take the win on that one. Great job. That was a heck of a battle. We get the point system going here. We're halfway through the next round here. So hang in there, guys. We'll try to finish up as soon as we can. Next battle is between Aiden and Bertsky. Then Nick L versus Chris L. Mark Santa Cruz versus Alan. Chris Steele versus David. David O'Neill versus Jelani. Zarek versus Austin G. Not Green, the other Austin. And then Raymond versus Devin, Terrell versus Ricky. So up next, Aiden versus Bertsky. So right now it's Aiden versus Bertsky. Aiden in the lead, Birdie on the chase, Bertsky on the chase, and the general city guys in on 3. And they're off. Big initiation. Full weight. Here comes Bertsky, wasting no time, closing that door. Ooh, interesting there. I'm not sure what happened. Might have some bumping and grinding here as they enter the second zone. Not sure. As they enter the nose, side by side. Ooh, Bertsky initiates at the same time. Trying to apply that pressure all the way through. Nice. Alright, great try. They're going to switch it up. Bertsky, you're going to take the lead now. And they're off. Bertsky with a nice clean initiation. Aiden wasting no time to close that gap on him. S15 or S15 here, looks like, as they go through. Wow, no distance between them. Both these guys making it look easy. Bert doing a great job on the ball line, all the way to the end with 8 on his board. Knocking, very nice here. This Bertsky from NorCal versus Aiden from SoCal. A little Zenshin and limited traction. Ooh, both of them rocking overdose gong. That was a gong battle. Here we go as we go to replay.
So right now we're going to be watching the second clip on Aiden's lead run. There was a little mishap there, so we're going to check it out.
Yeah, that was that crazy flick, and then I wasn't sure what kind of contact, what happened. It was a wild ride into the second zone. Let's see what happened here. So the replay really does let you get up on the nitty gritty and see exactly what happened. Sometimes it's too fast to just see one time. So we're gonna watch it here. So we're gonna see if Aiden slowed down too much, or if Bert hit him, or did Aiden even hit the raw? I'm not even sure. We're all watching it nice and slow here.
Nah, he went on him. The other guy hit Aiden.
Gotta see if you know, judges are gonna decide if he's going to. It was a decel zone, so I'm not sure how it's gonna play out. The only way to keep it fair is to watch these replays. And the judges will explain what happened. It's not easy making these calls. We also have the other angle, the other both side. Wow. A little bit of, did he fall on his tentacle? I'm not sure.
No matter what, that should already like, yeah. Interfering with the tape. Yeah, because the defense like really, judge where he wants to go next because he doesn't know if this guy is like go and run or like come on like you got that.
So this is why the replay is kind of important. If we just call it a quick one more time, and you might be cheating someone to win. So we don't want to do that. We want to make those fairest call we can't call. And we stand by all our calls. That's why they're all posted on YouTube. So you can watch it. We also have the other angle too. We have the other bird's eye cam that will get the same clip from the other side of the vantage point. Yes, so we're going to try the other bird's eye cam. Here we go. This one, different vantage point here. Ooh, interesting. You see how when you look at a different vantage point, it looks way different? But one was barely maybe not a hit or a hit. Now you see this one, it's a lot more defined and pronounced. It could happen or not. I'm not judging, but just watching. It does, you see more of a judges still deliberating. We do want to thank our sponsors, Futaba, Scale Reflex, AccuMath, DemiWorks, Topline, Tamiya, Yokomo, RC Argos, Vertex RC, much more, Mictric RC, and DS Racing, and Overdose. Shout out on the screen real quick. These sponsors all put together to make this special event happen. The judges are trying to make a decision to see what happened. They can't just call it one more time because it's too close to call. If there is a winner, you'd be cheating in on the win.
All right, so we're actually going to run the replay while we talk about the final call. During the drivers' meeting, there was a few things we touched base on and explained. And there was also another little error. When the lead car throws too much angle and, in a sense, slows down the way they did in this one, they become unchaseable. So although the chase is the slightest bit shallow, Aiden's slowing down enough to cause the contact. So we're gonna go with the chase qualifies and proceeds to the next round. Patrick proceeds to the next round.
Alright, you guys heard it. So pretty much as Aiden's entering into the second zone, looked like he had too much angle and it became an unchaseable run. There's no way the chase car could go with that angle. So he slowed down too much and then Bursky gets the win. Alright, thank you. Yes, thank you. Alright, let me update the practice here. Up next, we have Nick L versus Chris L. Nick L versus Chris L. NorCal versus SoCal. Alright. Alright. Chris, NorCal, representing the attraction, the number 99 car. In the lead position against Nick, number 21 car, representing SoCal.
Wait, Chris isn't coming in?
Yes. Wait, hold on. Did I box it? No, Nick, you're in the lead. I'm sorry. You're right. I don't know how to read. Nick, you're in the lead. Chris, you're on the chase. Here we go. Taking a break off the qualifying line, we take on the sweeper. Then they go in the second zone. Chris is applying that pressure as they go around. Put that no zone, here we go for the last zone before the judges. Ooh, they going nice and deep as he should. Chris right there, right behind him. Very nice. Need you guys to switch positions here. Chris, you're going to take the lead now. Nick will take chase. Here we go. And they're off. Initiation by Chris as he goes to the sweeper. Nick is right on his door applying that pressure as they go to the second zone. Wow, almost no distance between them. Nick putting a hell of a chase on it. Side by side as they go to the middle. Wow, to the last zone. To the end right here. Wow. I would not say that was one hell of a chase. No distance. I tried to push the button as I was watching.
Insane chase.
One of the better chases of the evening here. No distance between them.
That's so from where we sit, that's actually a one more time because Chris did not make it over with his entire car on the finish line. One more time.
Oh. Alright, you guys heard it. One more time. One more time. I guess Chris didn't finish all the way through or something. And I guess they need to go one more time.
Hit the wall.
Oh, hit the wall. Oh, I got it. He hit the wall before the finish line. So that made it one more time. Here we go. And they're on. Nick's out front. Here they go over the sweeper. Here comes Chris chasing as they go around to the second zone. guys, one more time now. Let's switch positions. Here we go. Chris, you're gonna lead. Nick, you're on the chase. The initiation by Chris. Here comes Nick. Close it in. Trying to apply that pressure. They go to the second zone. Nick's around his door here. Just trying to get away. They go through the middle. They go to the last zone, finishing strong. Let's see what happens here. Nick's right there knocking. Chris finishes strong. Right before the judges. Wow. This was a one more time battle between these two guys. Remember Mark Santa Cruz versus Alan B. You guys are on deck. Chris Steele versus Davin. Steven.
So right now we're going to be looking at Nick's chase coming out of the second clip going into the nose clip.
We'll do on the replay here. Look at Nick's chase. Watching Nick's card, purple card. Let's see what he's doing, to see if he's at fault. Yeah, what kind of shenanigans he's up to, see what it is. We're still watching the replay with the judges. You guys are watching it ultra slow.
Hey Chris, would you mind moving over just a tad bit, please? Sometimes the mouse loses connection with
They're off the receiver. We're just watching Austin walk super slow. All right.
Alright, so we were looking at a few areas. Chris advances, Nick made some contact going into the third clip.
Alright. You guys heard that Chris advances. Nick made contact in some areas. So Chris will take the win on that one. Alright. Up next, Mark versus Alice. Mark Santa Cruz versus Alex. sweeper. Mark out in front. Allen on the chase. Allen applying that pressure. Mark tries to set that ball front line. Allen's right there with him, side by side. Goes to the middle here. Nice. No distance here. Looks like Allen's trying to apply that pressure. Mark's trying to get away. Wow. Wow. Alright, we're gonna switch positions here. And they're off. Hit the Super League go. Here we go. Allen on that qualifying line. Here comes Mark trying to close in. Apply that pressure as they switch it up into the middle. Wow. No discipline either. There it is, the last zone. Let's see what happens. Wow. Both cars side by side. Oh! Did it count? I don't know if it was through the line or he's just that little spin.
Allen advances. Mark had a little bit of contact going into the second clip on his lead run.
Alright, you guys heard it. Allen advances. Mark has some contact going into the second clip. Alright, you guys see it. Allen takes it. Up next, we have Chris Steele versus Gavin. Chris on front, down on chase. Wow, Chris did a great job on the qualifying line. Here comes Gavin applying that pressure as they go around the middle. Then they go down the middle. And finishing strong before the judges, see what happens, how it plays out. Both cars finishing strong. Wow. The judges see you guys in? Here they go, into the zone. Here's the second zone. Yeah, doing a great job on that qualifying line. Here comes Chris trying to close in. Here's the nose. And then here's the last zone. Let's see what happens here as they put out a show for the judges. Wow, finishing strong side by side. That was Davin and Chris. Davin over in Arizona. Judges are still delivering. While the delivering, we'll give our sponsor a plug here. Tama, Overdose, DS Racing Active Mass. Skill Reflex Top Line. Yokomo, Tamiya, Vertex, Osialos, MST, much more. Mike Garcia, Protec, and Denworks.
Both have great leads and great chases, so we're going to go with one more time.
One more time, we're too close to the call. I'll give you good chasing, solid run, so we go one more time. Here we go. Back at the starter gate. Chris out in front. Davin on the chase. Here we go. And then the sweep really go. Chris initiates. Davin's right there, applying that pressure. Very nice. Let's go to the second zone. Almost no distance between them. Here they go. Chris trying to get away, but Davin's right there with them. Side by side as they initiate into the last zone. Wow. Exiting strong side by side. That's what you do again. They're off. Davin initiates. Here comes Chris. Applying that pressure. They go through the second zone, side by side. Both drivers trying pretty good right now as they go through the middle. Here comes the nose zone. To the last zone, finishing strong. Once again, side by side. Oh man, it's like the same run again. I don't know if they can call a winner. Let's see what happens here.
All right, so Chris advances and had a little bit of contact in the second third area.
Alright, you guys heard it. Down have a little bit of contact in the second, third area. Chris will take the win on that one. Alright, up next, we have David O'Neill versus Jelani. David O'Neill versus Jelani. Missouri versus SoCal. Here we go. David is beating us all the way from Missouri. And Jelani. All the way from SoCal. Here we go. And they're off. David out front. Doing a great job that qualifying line. Here goes Jelani close again with that proximity. Very nice as he applies that pressure. David's trying to get away. Both initiate towards the middle here as he goes to that nose zone. Oh, very nice here as he goes to the last zone. Let's see what happens. Oh, very nice. They're keeping it in there. Jelani right there with it. We're going to switch positions here as Jelani takes the lead. Here we go. And they're off. Jelani initiates. Here comes David, applying the pressure. So Jelani gets in the clip, pushes to the second half here as they enter the second clip. Oh no. Let's finish your run here. Not sure what happened. There may have been some contact. And if there was contact, that may have been the reason why Jelani split. Not sure. We'll see what the judges say about that.
Alright, so we're going to go one more time, both drivers have.
Alright, one more time battle. Both drivers had contact, so let's clean it up, guys. No more contacts. Let's get this going. Here we go. Alright, both drivers, now you got your tires warmed up. Should feel pretty good. Let's see it. Alright, David out front. Jelani on the chase. Here we go. Big initiation. Keeping it nice and deep in that clip as he should. David did a great job at ball on time. Here comes Jelani. He stayed with him all the way through. Knock on his door as they go to the second zone. Very nice here. Wow. No distance between them. They are warmed up as they go into the last zone. Nice and deep. All the way through. Wow. See that warm-up lap, man, that really does help with the tires. Here we go, switching it up. Jelani here taking the lead against David here in this one more time battle. Here we go. And they're off. Jelani initiates. Oh, big angle, nice and deep in the clip as it should. Here comes David applying that pressure as they go to the second zone. Wow. Both drivers, that little warm-up lap did a number. Their cars are hooked up. Side by side to the nose. Here's the last clip before the judges. Wow. Wow. Side by side. Quite the show. do a little shout out to the sponsors and the judges are deliberating. Check it out. Thank you all our sponsors for making this event happen. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do the event. And looks like the sponsors are noticing the growth, so they're putting in more stuff every year.
All right, so Giovanni advances. David had contact right before the finish line.
All right, you guys heard it. Giovanni takes it. David made contact right before the finish line. All right. Up next, I have Zarek versus Austin. The judges will send you guys in on green. Our very own Super G Austin here. Zarek will take the lead. And they're off. Alright, there's the big initiation from the sweeper. Austin wasting no time to close in and apply that pressure. As they go to the second zone. Might lose some contact there. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Looks like they're side by side, very close together as they go to the middle. Here they go for the judges at the last zone. There makes a little bit of the beginning of it. Very nice there. A little bit they're hugging us, did. I concur. And they're off. Awesome, you're in the lead. Big initiation of the sweeper. Here comes Derek, wasting no time at all. Closing in that gap. Here they go to the second zone. Austin staying on the nice qualifying line. Here comes Derek. Trying to close in as they go through the middle. And here they go, finishing strong for the judges. Looks like Austin gets a little bit of that clip at the beginning. Very nice there.
Zarek advances. Austin had contact on the chase, second clip.
Alright, you guys heard it. Zarek takes it. Austin had contact on his clip, so here we go. Alright. Zarek takes that one. Moving on, we got Ryan. Sorry, I can't read. Raymond versus Devin, and then Jarrell versus Ricky on deck. Once again, Raymond versus Devin. Raymond versus Devin. Raymond, you're in the lead. Devin, you're on the chase. Here we go. The Hawaii versus NorCal. One Hawaiian made it. Alright. He never left, but still, he made it. And they're off. Bringing out front, big initiation. Staying on that wall, very nice. Here comes Devin. Nice and smooth as he tries to close the gap to apply that pressure. Ooh. Looks like they're going to create some paint. So next time, as they go through the second zone here, let's see how they finish strong for the judges. Wow, Raymond going nice and deep as he should. Devin right there with him. Wow, very nice here. They would switch positions. Here they go. They're taking that easy on that qualifying line. Very nice. Oh, no. Looks like he might have stalled out, not sure if it was going to get a score or not. Let's see what the judges say. We're going to apply that pressure as we go through. Wow. Very nice there. One more. That was a battle between Raymond and Devin.
Raymond advances, Devin has contact on his face.
You guys heard it. Raymond takes it. Running up things real quick. Raymond takes it. Jarrell versus Ricky is next. Then we'll go into the next round. So once again, Jarrell versus Ricky. The judges will send you guys in on the ring. And they're off. The Will's Tezza. Try to stand a qualifying line. Here comes Ricky applying that pressure. He's got Arizona versus Michigan in the house. And they go very nice to Jarrell. Try to regather himself and he goes to the last clip. Ricky right there with him applies that pressure. Very nice ownership. Right, it's time to switch it up. Ricky, you're going to take the lead now. It's Jarrell. All right, now they're off. So they initiate. Very nice here as they go through the second zone. Ricky doing a great job on that qualifying line in his FC. There's Jarrell and his Alteza trying to close in, find that proximity guard here. Very nice as both drivers go to the middle. Initiating the last zone before the judges. Just a little bit in on that. Very nice here. That was Jarrell doing chase. Ricky on the lead. Jarrell from Arizona for Team Bubble Milk. It is overdose gone.
Ricky advances, Jarrell has contact, so now it's 7 foot.
All right, you guys heard it. Ricky advances, Jarrell made contact. Ricky takes it. And he'll take the points here as we go to the next round. And then we'll go straight to the top 8 after that. So Ricky takes that one. Moving on. Here we go. I have, for the next round, Kobe versus Sam. Shane Collin versus Miko. Oh, Austin Green versus Ron. Hal versus Daniel. Bertsky versus Chris L. Wow. Allen versus Chris Steele. Jelani versus Eric. Raven versus Ricky Diaz. That is going to be your next round. You guys get your cards ready. Some interesting battles here. Somehow, some way, there end up being a lot of people that battle each other all the time are battling it out again. So once again, Kobe versus Sam, you guys are up first. If I called your name, you guys should make sure your cards are ready to go. Kobe, you're in the lead. Sam, you're in the chase. We appreciate you guys hanging in there. It's been a long day. I'm trying to wrap it up as soon as we can. Kobe, you're in the lead. Your number 9999 car, and Sam, your number 88 car. Here we go. Alright, Kobe in his blue FCP initiation, nice angle as he comes to the sweeper. Here comes Sam chasing him down, trying to apply that pressure. Very nice here as he goes to the second zone. Quick flick as they go out of that into the middle zone. Looks like Kobe did a great job of qualifying line. Oh no, looks like Sam spun. Kobe's gonna enjoy that last free ride at the end here. Let's see what happens here as they switch positions. See if that spin's gonna cause him to win. Here we go. Here we go, here we go. Sam in the lead position as they initiate. Here comes Kobe as he applies that pressure. In the center, go. Very nice here. They go to the middle. Kobe applying that pressure. Sam tries to hit the qualifying line. Very nice. Finishing strong. Right. That will do it. Let's see. So now we're going to figure out if that spin is going to cause us to win or not.
Kobe advances, Sam had a spin on his chase.
There you go. So what the spin did make it as big as so. So Kobe will take that win. Sam had spun. Up next, we have Shane Collins versus Nico. On deck have Austin Green versus Ron. Shane Collins versus Nico. Interesting battle here. These are teammates, palsies. I can't even talk that shit. Good comeback. And they're off. Shane initiates into the sweeper. Nico providing chase. There we go. Very nice here as they enter the second zone. Side by side, the twin cars here. Both guys have been driving each other for a long time. So they practice this. Very nice here to go through. There's a little bit of a slowdown. Not sure what happened. This is not a twin tandem battle. This is a battle between you guys. It made it look like an exposition. Here we go. Switching it up. Nico's in the lead now. Shane's driving chase as they initiate. Wow. Very nice looking bodies here. Always a big drift. Both guys rocking out the big delivery here in their awesome Altezas. Nice clean run. No distance between them as they enter the last zone. That's what we want to see, guys. Very nice run. So we're going to see if Shane's little slowdown will do it. And it looked like people went pretty deep on his lead run. So that might cost Shane the win there. Judges are still deliberating. Team D-Style versus Team D-Style. Shane in the number 84 car in his SX3 and Nico in his MC1 SX2 collab. Both of them are big D-Style. Nico repping Red D here. On deck we have Austin Green versus Ron, Hal versus Daniel, Bursky versus Chris L, Allen versus Chris Steele, Jelani versus Zarek, Raymond versus Ricky. So those are on deck, and you guys should be ready to go.
That was definitely pretty cool to watch. Nico advances. Shane had an issue on his lead in the last clip. And Nico did the same thing. Almost did the same thing.
Yes, yeah, so Shane had a little mishap on his last clip. He did a little bit worse than Nico did on that last clip, so that's why Nico takes it. All right, very good here. All right. You go ahead and give Nico the point. Very good job. That was a nice run, showing everybody what's up. Here we go. Looks like we have Austin Green versus Ron. Austin Green versus Ron. And they're off. Austin in his red 20 as he comes through. Ron applying that pressure. Let's go to a second clip. Very nice here. Both drivers on point as they come through the second zone. Down the middle. Here they go distance between them as they go through the no zone. Here they go before the judges, side by side as they enter. Exiting strong. Wow. Wow. That's pretty nice, guys. All right, both of them going out here. Very nice. We're taking them around the sweeper. Both drivers go to the second zone. I'm doing a great job at qualifying line, but Austin is right on his door as they come to the last zone. Let's see what happens here. Going nice and deep as he should. Wow. Nice clean run of both drivers here. This is another Missouri versus Arizona battle. It's very nice to see people come from one place. Here we go. Man?
Ron advances had a
Ron advances had a clean lead. Alright, very nice here. We update the bracket. That was a very good run, but Ron takes it. Cleaner lead. Alright. Up next, we have Hal versus Daniel Lee. Here. Daniel. So it's Hal the lead against Daniel on the case. The judges will signal you guys in. Alright. Hal in the lead. And Supra, Daniel hits the other Supra. Black and white Supra versus purple Supra. Here we go. Alright. Here it is, the treat, Supra versus Supra. Run the black and white Supra out front, piloted by Hal as he takes up the qualifying line. Daniel providing chase in his purple Supra. Wow. Side by side watching the Supras is very nice here as they go through the middle zone. Look at Hal trying to pull away. Daniel ends up a little bit on the inside, but Hal was like in contact on the outside. I don't know what happened as he went in. But it looked like Daniel went on the inside and Howard outside. Here they go, switching it up. Here we go, Daniel initiates. Howard's wasting no time, applying that pressure. Wow, knocking on his door. Daniel doing a great job trying not to let the pressure get to him as he exits the center zone. Going into the third zone. Oh, looks like might not even have a zone. I'm not sure if that's going to be deep. But as he enters the middle to the last zone, Hal right there on his tail. Very nice here. That's interesting. Let's see if they're going to consider that slow down. Go ahead.
One more time.
One more time. Looks like Hal had that tap, and then Daniel had that slow down. They both had some mishaps. One more time down. Here we go again. Here we go. Hal out front with the black and white Supra. Big angle into the sweeper. Daniel was knocking on his door. Very nice here. Oh! Just like that, man. Looks like some contact was made. Not sure what's going to happen as they come to the middle. Here they go to the last zone. Wow. Very nice and smooth here, both drivers. There's a one more time now. Let's switch positions. Daniel, you're going to take the lead now. Alright. Nice keeping that angle as he should. Same with Suki. Here comes Hal providing chase. Both of them switching it up into the middle. Supra versus Supra. Here they go through the nose. And the last zone, finishing strong. Very nice. The Supra wins for sure. Let's just see which one.
How advances, Daniel had contact on.
Yes, you guys heard it. Daniel made a contact on the sweeper on that run. And Hal will take the win on that one. Very good run. Putting on the one more time show for us. Up next, we have Bertsky versus Chris L. Teammate versus teammate. A lot of that going on today. Bertsky versus Chris L. judges will send you guys in on 3. NorCal versus NorCal. I don't know how it ended up. LT versus LT, couple limited traffic battle here. Here we go. Bursky is in the lead, I believe. Yes, Bursky's in the lead. Chris, you're providing chase. Here we go. And they're off. Burt initiates in the 17. Here comes Chris chasing him down as he should. Looks like Burt's to the inside on the sweeper. Let's see what's going to happen. Ooh. Comes down the middle. Let's see what happens if they finish up strong here. All right. All right, here we go. Switching it up. Chris takes the lead. Big initiation, nice speed, good angle going into that sweeper. Here comes Bursky trying to close that gap. Oh, very nice there. You saw Chris taking the outside, Burt making sure to draw that contact as they enter. Here they go in the middle of the nose. Chris did a great job going nice and wide all the way to that clip. There comes Burt chasing him down. Very nice there. That was Chris's lead run.
There's a little bit of contact on both of their chases. One more time.
All right, you guys heard it. It's a one more time battle. Both of them have a little bit of contact. So they're going to do it one more time. The tires are warmed up. It's going to be a much better run. Here we go. Burtski's out front. Chris on the chase. Let's see what they do. Nice. Burt gets in that zone as he should. Here comes Chris chasing him down. Both of them go to the second zone. Initiating into the middle zone. Chris closing the gap, applying that pressure at the end of the last zone before the judges. Much better run here, guys. Very nice. Keep it clean. Here they go. Switching positions. Oh, big angle. That's initiation. Oh no, looks like a Michael for Bursky. And Chris is gonna just enjoy his nice cruise to victory here. Very nice here. All right. Looks like Chris is gonna take the win on that one. Right, judges? I can't call that. Yes, looks like they agree. Chris will take the win. Bursky had Lipo. And in the battle, Lipo means you're out. Done. So Chris takes the win. I'm going to give him the point. Yeah, okay. Up next, we have Allen versus Chris Steele. Allen versus Chris Steele. And then on deck, we have Jelani versus Eric, Ray versus Ricky. Once again, Allen giving the lead against Chris. Here we go into the sweeper. Gets a great job on the qualifying line in his fat lane PRC. Chris in his old school ride. Chasing him down as they go to the second zone in the middle zone. Wow. Now trying to pull away the initiation of the last zone, pulling nice and deep, running that wall all the way through. Wow, very nice. All right, we're gonna switch positions here as Chris takes the lead. Here we go. Nice angle by Chris as he initiates. Allen's going to close that gap. Wow, both of them super close side by side. Allen trying to apply that pressure. And then Chris trying to get away, applying that, trying to set a qualifying line. Very nice as they both enter the last zone. Chris also going nice and deep all the way through. Put it on a show for the judges. Wow.
Allen advances. He was able to keep better proximity through his chase.
You guys heard it. Allen advances. He had a better chase than Chris did, and that was enough to give him the win. We'll go ahead and change it up here. Great job by Chris and Allen. Chris always putting it down too. Here we go. Next is Jelani versus Zarek. Jelani versus Zarek. Alright. Here we go. Jelani in the lead. Zarek here on the chase. Couple of Super G regulars here. Alright. Fill up the boat. Here we go. Alright. And on deck we have Raven versus Ricky. Get your cars when you're ready. Here we go.
Who's leading, Joe? Is he leading?
You are. And they're off. Jelani's up front. Initiates nice and easy into the sweeper. Zarek's closing that gap as he should as they go on the second zone. Ooh, Zarek chasing with that big angle. There comes Jelani trying to get away as they go through the middle. Both cars doing a great job on that fall fine line. Ooh, Jelani went nice and deep. He made it gone too deep. Zarek's right there with it, finishing strong. They're going to switch positions here. Let's see who's going to win. Here we go. And they're off. Zarek takes the lead as he initiates into the sweeper. Stays in for a little while as he comes out, but Jelani's right there with him. Applying that pressure all the way through. Here they go, coming in the middle. Wow. Both cars do a great job as they enter the last zone. Wow, Zarek going nice and deep. Making sure he gets it. Very nice and Jelani finishing strong.
Zarek advances. Jelani has some contact on his chase. Correction lead.
You guys heard it. Zarek takes it. With the point to Zarek here. And up next, let's get Raven and Ricky on the finish line here. Raven, you're in the lead. Ricky, you're on the chase. Raven on the lead. Ricky on the chase. Alright, let's do it. Hawaii versus Michigan. Here it is. Raven initiates. Nice to keep him in that sweeper as he should. Ricky wasting no time closing in, trying to apply that pressure. Wow. Both drivers trying to very aggressive and very nice here as they go to the second zone. Raven trying to get away. Stay on the fall fine line. Here comes Ricky trying to close that gap. Trying to apply that pressure all the way through, side by side. Wow, no distance between them. All right, thank you. And they're off. Ricky initiates into the sweeper. Oh no! Looks like he might have over-rotated. I'm not sure if he was over there. I didn't see, but I saw him. Look like over rotation, and then we're going to slow down for him. Let's watch him finish up here and see how the judge is going to call it. All right, very nice. Very nice, very nice.
Raven advances. Ricky had a bit of an issue going into the sweeper on his lead.
You guys heard it, that stall down, that little stall did cost him the win on this one. Raymond takes it. We'll go ahead and give her the point here. I think we're going to go to the top 8 now. Here it is. We got top 8. Kobe versus Nico. Ron versus Hal. Chris L versus Alan B. Zarek versus Raymond. This is top 8. The winners will go on to battle each other for top 4. The losers of that battle will be the bronze match for 3rd and 4th. The winners of that battle after that will be 1st and 2nd place. And the $500 cash prize we're putting up. And the title for the U.S. champions. And the big trophies that we got. So up next is Kobe in the lead against Nico. The judge will see you guys in. And they're off. Kobe did a great job on that qualifying line. There's Blue FC. Nico chasing him down, and then Vega Drift Alteza as they go to the middle here. Wow. Both drivers on point as they come through that last zone. Side by side finish. Wow. Now it's Nico's turn to take the lead position. And they're off. Nico initiates. Getting that zone. Here comes Kobe. Chasing him down, applying that pressure. Wow. Here they go as they come around. Nico's trying to get away. Kobe right there with him. Wow. Finishing strong side by side. Once again, that was Nico's lead run right there. Finishing it up. This is top 8 expert class Super Drift Championships 2020 USA Finals. Want to shout out to the sponsors who are judges are deliberating. They're on the screen there. Want to thank them for coming out and sponsoring.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and go with it one more time on that one.
One more time. It was too close to call. Now you see why these guys are top 8 for this evening, because they're really good. Too close to call. Here we go. Tires are warmed up. It's going to be quite a show. Here we go. Kobe out front in this Blue FC. Super G Wrangler here representing convention. Eagle providing chase upon that pressure, as he should. Represent D-Style and Red D here. Very nice. Kobe trying to pull away. Oh, Eagle wasting no time. Close that door. Here they go to the nose zone. To the last zone. Wow. Side by side. Before the judges putting on quite the show. You see that warm-up lap really helps the tires get right there where it feels good again. Here we go. Switching it up. Nico, you're in the lead now. Here we go as they enter the sweeper. Kobe applying that pressure as he should. Very nice hit to go to the zone. Wow. Both taking nice transitions as they enter. Here they go in the nose zone. And the last zone, let's see what happens. Wow. Almost like a carbon copy on the last zone. Very close. Very close call here. Everyone's still hanging in there as we're finishing up. All right. Oh, we're going to replay actually. So we're watching what the judges are watching. Trying to figure out what happened. judges are watching to see what they're trying to figure out. Some of these calls are too close to call, and we just said one more time it would be robbing the winner of the win. So we have to make sure we make the right call, and we don't just, cheat someone out of the win. Wow.
Test. We'll be looking at Colby coming into this Burton and Chase.
Once again, we're looking at Kobe coming into the sweeper on his chase run. They're watching that. Oh. Ah. So what do we see?
Miko advances, Colby shallow out on him into the sweeper.
Got it. So as you guys saw that replay right now, it's pretty much Kobe took like an inside line on the sweeper, and pretty much everything else was pretty even. So he took a shallow. That's it. It's gonna cost him the win. So Miko takes it. That's the only thing they say. So because he shallowed up on that sweeper, it cost him the win. Miko takes it. Congratulations, Miko. Yes. All right. So this is gonna keep going on here. We're gonna finish up here, top 8. Let's get Miko a point. Next one up it is Ron versus Hal. Then Chris L versus Allen, and Zarek versus Raymond. Once again, Ron versus Hal. Ron, you're in the lead position. Hal, you're in the chase position. And the judge will signal you guys in on green. And they're off. Ron tries to stay in that qualifying line as Hal's chasing him down in his Supra. Ron coming over to Arizona here, putting it down a 6 line as Hal's trying to right chase as they enter the last zone. Right before the judges and see what happens. Wow, both were nice and deep. Very nice here. We're gonna switch it up. Hal, you're taking the lead now. Let's go. Alright, Hal's doing a great job on the qualifying line. Here comes Ron chasing it down, applying that pressure. Wow. As they go through the center zone, the second clip. Here they go. Come around the hairpin. Going down the middle. Here's the no zone. Let's see what happens. Wow, both drivers clearing that as they enter the last zone. Wall riding at the head. Very nice here. Wow. These runs are just really good. That was Ron Olive from Arizona, repping Tandem RC, and Hal representing Wall Ride. Both YD2s.
Hal advances, he was able to produce a better lead and better chase. Great driving there.
Alright, it's a close one. Great job, Ron. But Hal had a better lead and a better chase, so he takes it for low ball run. We don't get the points here. Up next, we have Chris versus Allen. Chris, that would be Chris L from NorCal versus our very own Allen. And then Zarek versus Raymond after that. Once again, we have Chris in the lead against Allen. So it's Chris versus Alan. Where's Alan? Hold on a second. Alright, in the meantime, we want to let everybody know we appreciate you guys coming out, supporting us. We know it's dragging on a little bit late, but it was a lot of raffle prizes and a lot of people, a lot of good driving, so it takes time to punch through all of that. Hopefully next year we'll have even more raffle prizes, so that's why we're making a 2-day event. We're just going to raffle off prizes on the first and the second day. We went home pretty good today, but we're hoping next year will be even better sponsor support without COVID hitting us. Some of the sponsors were really disappointed because they couldn't get the product here in time. So they said next year they're definitely going to be a part of it. So we're excited to get them on board. But this year, we're going to give a plug out to the sponsors that came out. Futaba, Overdose DS, Hockey Basket, Reflex, Tower, Yokomo, Tamiya, Vertex RC, RCRs, FSC, much more, Viking RC, Protect, and Demiworks. With that being said, Little Boy's Rooms is done. We're going to have Chris out in the lead against Alan. And they're off. Chris representing Good Trashin and Alan representing Tension. Here they go to the sweeper. Chris tries to stay smooth on that qualifying line as Alan closes in, trying to apply that pressure. Both drivers on point here as they enter the second zone, clearing that nose. Wow. There they go, the last clip. Finishing strong, full commitment. Very nice, guys. We're going to switch positions. Alan, you're going to be in the lead now in your FRS. PRC. Chris initiates two for the chase. Here we go, we're on the sweeper. Wow. Both drivers do a great job on that qualifying line. Alan trying to stay on the qualifying line. Great job here. Wow. Wow. No distance between I'm not going to say anything. There's no distance between them. It's a heck of a run.
Chris says Alan had contact going into the sweep on his lead run.
Alright, that'll do it. Well, Chris says Alan had contact going into the sweeper. So let me award that point here. Chris takes the win on that one. Good job, Chris. All the way from NorCal. Up next, we have Zarek versus Raymond. Zarek versus Raymond. Here we go. Alright. Zarek, you're in the lead. Raymond, you're on the chase. And they're off. Zarek in his RX-7 DM for Raymond on the chase. 15. Wow, both drivers going into the second zone. Side by side as they enter the nose zone. Let's see what happens here. Very nice as they both initiate. Zarek tries to go nice and deep. Raymond is knocking on the door all the way through. Wow, very nice run. Alright, switching up here. Raymond, you're in the lead now. All the way from Hawaii, but you never really left, so still here. Ooh, big initiation, big angle. Raymond into the sweeper. Here comes Jerry trying to close in on applying that pressure. Wow, very nice. You can see why both drivers are in the top 8 here as they coming around here. No zone. There it is. Full commitment into that wall ride all the way through. Wow. That's what we want to see. Full commitment. Just going for it. Without hitting the rail. Very good job here. Very nice run here. Judges are still deliberating. hanging in there. We're also hanging in. I know it's late. We're trying to wrap it up. A lot of good competitors today, so.
Zarek advances. Raymond had some issues on his chase on keeping the right depth.
All right, you guys heard it. Zarek advances. Raymond had issues with his chase and his depth. So Zarek takes the win on this one. We'll give Zarek the point. This will conclude the top 8. This becomes the top 4 here. So your top 4 guys, here we go. It's been a heck of a battle. Wow. We have it, here we go. We have Pico versus Hal versus Pico versus Hal, and then we have Chris L versus Zarek. The winners will go in the top first and second battle for the finals, and then the losers will battle for the bronze match, which is 3rd and 4th place. So once again, we have Pico in the lead against Hal. The judges send you guys in on the ring. Oh wait, the judge might be there. I didn't know that. Alright, looks like the judges are handling some business. So this is the top 4. Let me update the screen here. Top 4. Everyone's hanging in there. So the top 4 finish. It's been a heck of a battle here. And remember, we're Steve and myself here at Super G, we're putting up $500 cash on top of the trophies and the bragging rights for the main guy, for the winner here. 500 big ones, cash. We decided to throw it on top last minute here. So this is a battle between Nico and Hal. Nico versus Hal, and then it'll be Chris versus Zarek, and then we'll do the awards and crown the Super Drift Championship USA Finals, the DK of USA. The journey to the US Drift King, as we were calling it. We have like 4 or 5 other regions that couldn't make it due to COVID. They couldn't do their own battles, or the Hawaii guys, they were going to get quarantined on the way back, so they couldn't make it either. So next year should be a much better year, more people. That's why we're going to create a 2-day event and then make it so qualify be one day and the main event be the next day, so that we can not have to drag on like this. All right. All right, we're ready. Here they go. You go out in front, out on the chase as they go into the sweepers. Here they go. Eagles doing a great job on that qualifying 9. Hal's providing chase, trying to apply that pressure. Both drivers are driving really well, as you can see. That's why they're in the finals here as they enter the no zone. Here they go for the last zone for the judges. Eagle taking it nice and wide as he should. Very nice driving here. I'll take the lead now. Both drivers enter the sweepers. Nice and easy here. Wow. Eagle applying that pressure on Hal. Hal trying to get away as he's trying to stand the qualifying line as he should. Here comes Nico, side by side as they enter the middle zone. And here we go into the last zone for the judges. Wow, Hal going as deep as he should also. It was a very close run, guys. It was too close to call. Looks like they're going to go to replay again. These fast runs are pretty good, pretty tight. So we're going to watch the replay as judges watch. We're going to see what they're watching and see what they're analyzing.
We're going to be looking to, first thing we're going to look at is the second clip on Nico's chase.
Second clip on Nico's chase. This is the first clip. Here we go entering the second clip. Migos, oh, this is still a house chase, so. Let's see what they're gonna watch. We're just watching what the judges are watching. Everybody here. Still hanging in there. This is a expert class, top 4. We're in replay mode. Trying to see the judges are watching. There it is. That's Miko's chase. Second clip. They're analyzing something. Let's see what they're looking for. We're gonna watch it again. We're gonna watch it again too. Here it is. This is Miko's chase on the second clip. Okay. I think they're trying to see if there was contact, and if so, whose fault. Oh, they're going to go to a different vantage point to get a more clear look. Here it goes. Oh, interesting. So looks like there's some kind of, maybe it may have contact there. Well, I'm just commenting, I'm not sure. It depends on what the judges call as a contact. So there was some kind of shenanigan right there. So we're trying to see if, one of the judges trying to see who's at fault, if there is someone at fault. If someone made a mistake, or was it just what it was? Let's see here. Once again, having the replay at your fingertips does make judging a lot better and a lot more accurate. When we first started, we didn't have the replay. It'd be very hard to make these calls. But now we can rewatch it and make sure we don't rob someone of a win. Our winner goes on with $500 cash. Purse today, on top of the bracket rights to be the DK of US. We're still watching what they're watching, and we still have shirts. If you guys want to buy shirts, they're $20. If you get the double X, triple X, I think they're $25. But we still have shirts if you guys want to get a shirt. Go see Austin at the register. Oh, we get another vantage point here. This is the hairpin cam. Trying to see if that shoved how or not. I'm not sure. We're still watching it like you guys are. Wow, it's a very close call. This is why I'm watching the replay. Seriously, it's so tough to call these. Now, some of you guys here, first time here, see this. This is what we're always trying to figure out. How can we make these calls accurate? When it's like that, is it a slow down? Was there contact made? And what deems the contact? Did he move? Did he move the lead car or not? Did he move or not? Yeah, the judges have been working hard to try to make sure they give you the most accurate call, most unbiased accurate call we can. Every battle we ever had, it is on YouTube, so you guys can while you're watching yourself. still watching. Especially when we're way up here at the top four, you're sending someone home that's gone all the way through, from battling all the rounds at the region, coming here, duking it out all the way to the top. Right now, sending someone home wrong would be, something we don't want to do.
Alright, so while it's playing, Hal has the lead card checked up to prevent himself from hitting the wall there, which caused Nico to contact on him. So Nico advances to the next round.
Okay, you guys heard it. So they were saying the lead card in this situation, Hal slowed down too much to try to get himself to line up, and then causing the contact between Nico and him. So it was a hell of a battle, super close. But Nico takes it, and Hal put up quite a battle all the way up the ranks till now. So very good job for both drivers. At the end here, everyone's top driver of the day, these guys. So Nico takes that one. Great job by Hal. Let me give everyone's saying it's a heck of a run, Hal. All right, let me give Nico the point on that one. We're gonna Hal, we're still gonna be battling third and fourth place. So stick around. We're gonna get out with Chris L and Zarek. Chris L and Zarek. Chris always with NorCal, getting himself into the finals here. Chris did a great job on that qualifying line. Zarek is applying the chase as he should. Very nice job of both drivers here. Chris in the qualifying line as Zarek applies that pressure. Then we go to the nose zone. And here we go to the last zone. Chris going all wide at the end there. And Zarek right there with him, finishing strong. Very nice. Now we're going to switch positions here as Zarek takes the lead. And they're off. There's a big initiation, big angle as he goes through the sweeper, a little short. Gets the sweeper at the end there. Here comes Chris applying that pressure as they go to the second zone. Wow. Both of them finishing at the same time. As they go to the middle here. Here it is, the last zone before the judges. Zarek goes, whoa, nice and deep all the way through. Very nice there. Remember, this is top four. Whoever wins here will battle Nico for first, second place. Whoever loses here will battle Hal for third and fourth place. Remember, this is for not just this round. This is for the bragging rights of the U.S. finals here. This is not just a normal round. We have people visiting from Missouri, from Michigan, from Arizona, Vegas, NorCal. All these people came here to duke it out, to try to determine the U.S. champion here. Well, we appreciate you guys all hanging in there. We know it's a long day.
All right, we're going to go ahead and go one more time.
One more time. Here it is. Let's see you guys do it again. Chris, you are in the lead. Now that these guys' tires are warmed up, you'll see what a difference it makes because the driving will be a lot better. We'll get more rhythm of things. Here we go. Chris in the lead. All right. And they're off. Chris is chasing the sweeper. Nice and deep. All riding at the end. Very nice. Here comes Zarek applying that pressure as they both go to the second zone. Wow, Zarek making sure not to make contact. Great job by both drivers as they go through the middle. And they go through the nose slip. And down, all the way down to the finish. Wow. Wow. What a wall ride there. Very nice there by Chris. This is a one more time battle. Zarek, you're going to take the lead now. Here we go. And they're off. Zarek initiates once again. Nice easy angle as he goes to the sweeper. Here comes Chris closing the gap, applying that pressure as he should. Oh, both drivers. Come out of the second zone. Go around the hairpin. Into the nose split. Let's see what happens here. Very nice. Here it is at the head. Wow, Derek going nice to see as he should. Chris right there with him. Wow. Remember this top four. One more time battle. Very exciting here. The winner will battle Rico for first, second place. The loser will battle Hal for third and fourth place.
Great one more time battle. Chris advances. He was able to produce a better lead and a better chase.
All right, you guys heard it. It was a great one more time battle, but Chris does a better lead, better run. He takes it there, put up a hell of a fight, finishing fourth here. Zarek, you gotta stay.
All right, guys. Now we have our third and fourth place.
Third and fourth place. Zarek, you're gonna battle Hal for third and fourth place. So this is finals of the final. These are your best drivers of the U.S. So Zarek and Hal, let me pull Hal up. All right. This is for third and fourth place. Top four battles here. So let me see who's in the lead position here. Hal is in the lead position. Sorry it took me so long to think. Hal, you're in the lead position. And then Zarek going to chase. This is a bronze match, third and fourth place. Here we go. And they're off. Ooh, Hal, nice big angle into the sweeper he goes. Oh no, looks like Zarek had a little trouble there. Not sure how it's gonna pan out. Hal going around the second zone. Here they go. Down the middle. Hal trying to get nice and easy on those lines, making sure he does what he needs to do, going nice and deep in the end. Zarek also following suit, making a great run there. Very nice, very nice. Alright, we're gonna switch it up. Zarek's in the lead position. Here they go. Zarek initiates. Here comes Hal closing in, applying that pressure as he should. Very nice as they both enter the second zone. Hal's making sure he's not going to make contact. Zarek doing a great job on that qualifying line as he should. Go down the middle. And to the last zone. Interesting turn of events. Let's see what happens here now. It looks like they both have some mistakes on their runs, but I'm not sure who's at fault.
One more time, both made contact.
Both made contact, they both lucked out between each other. One more time battle again. Here we go. Hal in the lead. Alright, and they're off. As you see, both their tires are being warmed up. They pulled some clean runs here. Hal on the qualifying line. Look at Zarek takes a little bit of the inside line. Here they go in the second zone coming out. Side by side as they enter the middle zone. Here they go, coming to the last zone. Let's see what happens here. Wow, side by side finish. Very nice here. This is one more time battle. Zarek, you're going to take the lead now. Here we go. Wow, big initiation by Zarek. He goes into the sweeper. Hal is right there knocking on his door. Here they go through the second zone. Coming around here. Ooh, interesting as they come around. Here they go side by side to the nose clip. Here's the last clip before the judges of this one more time battle. Very nice. Wow. Wow. Once again, this is your top four finishers here. This is for third and fourth place in a one more time battle. This is not a regular round, guys. This is the best of the best of the best. Okay, we're a replay. We're all hanging in there.
I know which one. Just like,
All right, we're watching. The judges are watching the replay. Ooh, that's what we're watching. I thought I heard some sound. It might have been the wings clashing. It was crazy. I heard something almost.
Alright, so after looking over the replay, Hal advances, and actually Zarek was just a little shallow on his chase drop the whole time, so Hal's going to go ahead and take third.
All right, dude, congratulations. This is a heck of a battle. Zarek took you all the way up to 4th place. Hal finishing 3rd place. Wow. And it's time for the main event. So this is going to be between Nico and Chris L. Nico and Chris L. Yep. You get competition right now. Hold on a second. Let's say it's questioning, trying to get explanation from the judges. So they're going to replay again.
We're going to jump back to the replay on Zarek's lead.
Okay, they're going to review the clip on Zarek's lead, which was in question.
We're going to be focusing on the sweeper.
It's going to be Zarek's lead in the sweeper. So Zarek was contesting the call, trying to figure out, I guess he saw something different. So he's asking the judges to review it. So we are now reviewing it to make sure the right call is made. So we're all watching, the judges are watching.
So right now what we're doing is we're actually looking if there's any kind of direction change or shift or any kind of unnatural movement being caused by Eric's lead. And so we're not seeing anything in this area right now. So we're going to deem this okay. So as of right now, our call still stands. And now we're going to be checking out the entry area for the second test.
So we're still reviewing the footage here for the test. Trying to make sure the right calls are made. So the judges are looking to see if the chase car caused enough contact to throw the lead car or shift the movement of the lead car. If so, then the judges can deem the chase car at fault for causing contact. But if the lead car doesn't move at all, or doesn't shimmy or shake, then there will not be contact called. Let's see what the judges are looking at. This is the call that the contest saying that there was contact. Looks like there's a little bit of gap. Not sure if there was contact. Let's see what the judges are looking at.
Right now we're going to go to slow-mo. This is from the bird's eye view. There's still distance in between both cars throughout the sweep. Yeah. So this one here, there is no direction change as you disclosed to us. So you're saying that contact on the X too? Okay,
Just keep watching right here, because the X is in view. The X is in view. Keep it playing.
No, not that. That's the first X.
Oh, okay. Okay. So they're giving this as no direction change on the lead car. So we're going to watch it again. So the first car, the sweeper, we're reviewing. Looks like there was distance, so there was no possible way. The second half of the sweeper looks like there was no direction change. And I'm talking about this one right here.
So, test. We're going to deem that also no type of contact made. We have the view. We can run the replay one more time just so you guys can see exactly what we're looking at and why the call stands.
Cue it back. Let's watch it one more time, make sure. So there was
So there's no contact, there's still distance in between both cars.
This is why the replay system is in effect. At certain angles you look, it looks like there's contact, but when you look at it, the bird's eye straight above, you see there's clear distance between them on the second X. Also, on the exiting the sweeper, there was not enough contact to move the lead car. So they're saying the judges saying that the call still stands. Hal is still your third place finisher.
So you guys do a lap, warm up your tires. Sorry about that.
Alright. You guys need to do a lap. This is to warm your tires. Just do a quick lap. Because the tires cool back down. So I'll give you guys a fair shot. This is between Nico and Shane, Nico and Chris. All right. Nico is in the lead position, and then Chris is in the chase.
Watch the lights.
All right, Nico is chasing the sweeper. Here comes Chris closing in on the gap. Here they go into the second clip. Looks like there's very little distance between them as they enter, coming out. Here they go in the middle zone. Here they go. Nico going nice and deep. Chris right there with him. Both drivers on point. Very nice. Very nice. Let's have you guys switch positions as Chris takes the lead now. Here we go. Here they go into the sweeper. Chris initiates. Gets into the zone the second half here as they go around into the second zone. He will apply that pressure as he should. Very nice here. Here we go on the last zone. Chris also goes nice and deep. Eagle right on his door. Very nice there. This is for first, second place, guys. Very nice here. The judges are deliberating.
Epic battle for first and second place. Nico takes first place. He is the U.S. Drift King.
Nico takes it. It was a tight battle. Nico does take it. Congratulations, Nico. Congratulations. Let me update the brackets here, and then we'll go straight to the award ceremony. We're just gonna hand out awards, not ceremony. We're just gonna do this. Good job, everybody here. It was a heck of a battle. Nico takes that one. You get the point. This is gonna finish up the. Here we go. Let's see here, we in the tournament. Nico, your first place finisher. Chris from NorCal, second place. Hal, third place. We're gonna give out the awards here.
All right, guys, so we're going to be... Oh, time out, 1 second.
You broke it?
No, it's just polishing it. Don't even worry, man.
Yeah, man.
Gotta make sure to shine.
Yeah, put some shoe glue on it, right? All right. Looks like we're giving out the awards. All right. Congratulations to the winners of today's. Here we go. Got Vigo, first place finisher. Chris, second place finisher. Hal, third place finisher. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Alright, guys, can't forget about the Sportsman class either. They had some killer driving. We have...
What up before, Vigo, come over here real quick.
Oh, we got the hot ticket.
A $500 cash prize Super G has put out. Steve and myself were talking yesterday. We're like, dude, we got an MTL. We got to make it a little bit better. We're giving Nico, the winner, $500 cash prize. So, congratulations, Nico. We're really glad to see all the talent out here today. And now we're going to go straight to the Sportsman class.
Alright, so in first place, we have Mr. You know the man. Mr. Jackson, come get your first place trophy, man.
Jackson fell asleep like a couple hours ago.
He did a lot of driving, so he's tired. His hands are.
Okay, we're gonna give
Yeah, that's a good thing to wake up to right there. Yeah.
Yay! So, the bracket, as you guys see, Jackson was your first place Sportsman finisher. David Wessel was your second place Sportsman finisher. Adriano was your third place finisher. Where's David at? David still here? David's here?
Adriano. There you go, man.
Congratulations.
We're
Alright. We gotta get a photo of the Sportsman class. What do you think?
is David still here? David's asleep? Everyone needs to take a nap. Go wake him up.
If he wants to, I'm sure he'll want his napping time trophy. Come on.
If we woke up the kid, we gotta wake up David.
Yeah, the Jackson will wake up.
He's 8.
Alright. As David's coming, we'll get that last photo. Once again, while David's doing that, while David's waking up, just want to make sure we shout out the sponsors one last time. They made the journey of the U.S. Drift King possible. Thank you, Futaba, Overdose, DS Racing, AccuDance, Scale Reflex, Topline, Yokobo, Tamiya, Vertex RC, RC Arlos, MST, much more. My Trick RC, ProTech, and Demi Works. There's going to be more joining us next year. So here we go. Sportsman. Here we go. Sportsman. Let's get the photos here. We're still waiting. Jackson taking first place in Sportsman. Adriano finishing strong with third place finish. Waiting for one more for the photo. Wait for David to wake up.
Yeah, for sure. I got another one too. All right, thanks.
We're just waiting for David. He's waking up from his power nap.
Alright. As soon as David gets here, we'll get the final photo. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and watching this epic battle here for the U.S. Dirt Champions here. Next year, there will be more regions joining. We've already started talking to some of the people. Some people who weren't aware of what was going on, now they see what's going on, they want to be a part of it, so it's going to be really good next year. We have more sponsors that want to take part in this, but they were not able to get the prizes here in time because of COVID. So next year, they're going to make sure they get the prizes to us on time. So we have more sponsors joining the board.
David, please come.
David here.
Please come collect your trophy.
We just do a photo without him. He's not going to come.
All right.
Alright. Should we take a photo without him?
There you go. That is your first and third for the Sportsman class. Great driving tonight, guys.
Yes.
Battles, awesome battles. Epic driving. There it is. There you go.
Alright. Well, thank everyone for tuning in. Once again, we want to thank our sponsors. And yeah, we're hoping next year will be even better. We have a new format. We're doing a 2-day battle. So it'll be a 1-day qualifier and 1 day into the battle. So the battles will take as long. Thank you guys for tuning in.